Alright guys, BLM here, back with a new live stream. And we're back with more judgments, and really, who cares? Like, even I don't care about what I'm playing at this point. But yeah, obviously Survivor. We got a lot to talk about. Survivor, Big Brother VIP, the challenge. So quite a bit going on at this point. Hey Justin, here pretty early. Yeah, this was an insane episode. Did not play out the way, I mean, it did and didn't. Like, the boot was what I expected. The way the boot happened was not how I expected at all. I really, and to be honest, I'm kind of, like, in a way, I'm kind of underwhelmed by how it happened, but also not. Like, I'm underwhelmed in the sense that, I was hoping, like, a bigger flip was gonna happen, but yeah, like because it does seem like the core power structure is still together, and that's what I'm kind of disappointed by. But again, a really insane vote. Yes, I will say this now. Sydney was the person that I talked about way back. That is the person that leaked that they are pre-jury boot. Because she was an idiot and posted a picture of her vaccine card on social media, which had her getting the vaccine in the middle of filming. So, yeah, I mean, so that's like been a known thing. I will say that either way, I would have still thought that Sydney would have been the merge boot. But again, definitely did not happen the way I thought it was going to. I really thought what was going to happen. Yeah, I thought Yasa and Ua were going to come together, and Erica was going to flip along with them. Especially after last episode where we got this talk about Erica being a lion, wanting to play like a lion and stuff. So I thought she was going to be the main one to flip on her group. But that didn't happen. So I really, and to be honest, I'm a bit confused on how the season's going to play out at this point. I am still on board Tiffany winning. I'm actually even more secure after this episode, considering she was shielded in the edit. While also still, like, she was shielded from being incorrect on how she voted, but still was shown as being a strategic presence throughout, while also, like, not being, like, again, shown too prominently in the episode where she was, like, ends up being wrong. So, I still feel pretty good about Tiffany winning. I don't know how it happens, though. That's the thing I'm a bit confused by. Because this does seem like a pretty tough spot right now. I am expecting Evie to probably go pretty soon. I think that's probably, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Evie's, like, one of the next few boots. Again, like, she kind of got the Sophie-esque edit to me. And, yeah, she would be booted around now. Again, didn't think she was the merge boot, but one of the first boots afterwards makes sense. So, again, Evie going home next makes a lot of sense, obviously, based on the current game position. Is it too soon to call Xander top 3 player ever? I think it's, like, I don't think it's happening that Xander's a top 3 player ever. Yeah, Liana's dead. I dropped Liana down from, I had her 2 on my power ranking. I dropped her down to number 7 at this point. I think she's dead. And to be honest, I think almost everyone's dead at this point in terms of the edit. Like, I really, like, to me, I don't see another realistic situation outside of Tiffany winning. Maybe Shan. I do think this was probably a net positive for Shan of an episode, but I thought last episode wasn't the greatest for her, and, like, she's probably coming out still, like, lower than what I would have been a few episodes ago. So, yeah, I think it's Tiffany. Again, I think it's Tiffany. I think the only knock against Tiffany's edit so far for me has been episode 2, but even that is explainable. Like, I think it's Tiffany from Edgic's standpoint. But, again, I don't know how she gets there, though. I think that's what's going to be interesting. And also, I'm disappointed, too, that she wasn't more involved in the Sydney boot. And, I mean, actually, really, she was not involved at all in the Sydney boot, which makes that even more of a question mark for me. Considering, again, we were set up this, like, feud in episode 3, and then it just doesn't happen. Like, nothing happens from that. And if anything, like, we actually hear Yasa want to work with Sydney instead. And it's like, that's like the thing that's a big question mark. This is a great tribal. This is a fantastic tribal. This is actually, like, if I were to do my top 10 tribal video at this point, this is in top 10 for sure. Like, to me, this is better than the Julia boot from Edge of Extinction. Like, this is pretty much a better version of that, in my eyes. So this is definitely a top tier tribal. Just let him know yeah, that's also another thing I was disappointed by with this vote, is that I felt like Yasa really blew an opportunity here. Or really, I mean, really a lot of these people in the middle, too, blew an opportunity to really make a move against the now, like, current majority. And that's the one thing that was, like, a downside here, is that it's like, I thought everything around this merge vote was fantastic, but then the actual result still leads to the people in power still being in power, despite, like, Xander making the great move of faking or handing the idol to Tiffany and, like, having a fake idol and all that stuff. It's like, realistically, it's like, it doesn't change that much. They're still at the bottom. More than likely, again, I think one of those three, more than likely, is going home. If not next, then probably the next boot after that. So it's like, I don't think it really changes much. Was it worth the wait? Maybe. I think it would have been better if it was just a 2-hour episode, though. Like, I mean, this was a great conclusion to what happened last week, but definitely this would have been better if it was just a 2-hour episode. Yeah, I mean, that was incredible. 5-4-3 vote. Also, what's really weird, too, is that if, I mean, there were just so many possibilities with this vote. That I'll be honest, like, again, I've been so confident Sydney was going to be the merge boot for a while, but I did start to doubt it a bit when they didn't play the idol on Evie. Like, that was the fact that they got out of that was pretty surprising to me. Though at the same time, it's like, once you put the votes on Sydney, it's like, how do you really keep her in the game? I mean, I do think Sydney is probably a bigger threat in the game than Evie. Especially under, I mean, it's kind of weird because, like, obviously Evie is closer to Xander and Tiffany has that 3. That's obviously very dangerous. But Sydney's also someone that can win challenges, probably more likely to find idols. And I think that's also dangerous. And I think keeping her in the game after, like, she knows that you turn on her is also very dangerous to do. So, like, I guess I get why they still went for Sydney there. Yeah, I mean, again, this was a pretty crazy vote here. Like, Deshaun wasted his extra, I mean, wasted to a degree his extra vote. Like, obviously, it's like there were just so many scenarios that could have happened that it's better to play it safe there. Especially because you know that Xander has an extra vote, and if Xander uses his extra vote, then the votes won't split properly, so Deshaun had to play his extra vote. Again, like, that was, yeah. How would I rank the 3 merge tribals? They were all great, weren't they? I'll be honest, I think this might be, is this my least favorite of the 3? I don't know, because the thing is, like, even though this was great, I feel like it was just chaos. And I feel like the other 2, like, satisfied, like, the stories of those seasons up to that point a lot more than this one did. Again, with, like, George playing the spy and getting Haley to play the idol, all that stuff was great. You had, on South Africa, you had Tyson play the idol on Chappies and all that stuff, and take out Marisha, or whatever her name is. But yeah, like, those were, like on paper, like, not as crazy of tribals, but I feel like they, like, made more sense over the course of the season. Well, like, I feel like this vote out here is just all over the place. Like, it's crazy, it's fun, but I don't know if I would necessarily rank it higher. I do think it's I think they're all 3 really good, though, and I do think it's, like, to be honest, it's a bit arbitrary to really rank them. But do I think that this season could be top tier? It still can be top tier. I said this in the mid-season power ranking that I think it'll be a mid-tier season, but still has the potential to be a top-tier season if we get, like, a really, really great post-merge. Again, do I think this will hold? Probably not. Like, I think, again, this was a great merge vote. I am expecting probably a tamer episode next probably next couple weeks. Like I would expect Evie to go home in one of those two, and then probably like a Nasir or a Ricard, like one of these other people that also have like setups to boot. I'm thinking Nasir has an idol. I guess he could be blindsided with an idol. But I feel like one of those sort of people are probably the next two to go. Like people that are outside of the core alliance, but it's like going to be billed as like this blind side and everything. I feel like those are probably the next two boots. After that, I feel like the game could shake up a bit. I think Erica could also go home. That's also a thing. I will say that I moved Erica up my power rankings quite a bit. Even though this was not a great episode for her, I feel like she at least has a story for a win. I think it's not, like, I don't think she's winning, but I did bump her up quite a bit because, like, she has a story about her wanting to play like a lion. Like, she was a lamb. She's now a lion. Like, I feel like that's something. I don't think she's winning. Again, I think this is probably more of a journey edit. Which actually, I think through that actually bumps up Tiffany's edit to me, because again, that was the thing with Tiffany, is that people were saying that I think Tiffany's getting the journey edit. However, at this point, I feel very secure in Erica getting the journey edit. And if Erica's getting the journey edit, I think that means Tiffany's is less likely to be a journey edit and more so a winner edit. So that's something too. Who am I rooting for? Again, like, I don't really root for people anymore. Like, I really don't. I don't really have like a vested interest in like who actually wins. I'm just hoping for like a fun season with a lot, like, with fun gameplay. What the? I mean, like, I wouldn't be opposed to like a Xander win after this episode. Again, I don't think it's happening.
That's right. So he was murdered here.
I mean, I think this is like obviously putting him at, I mean, I don't know. Like, I really just don't know how this game's going to play out. Because again, like, I think Tiffany's winning. The question is how. How does she win? How does she get to the end? How does she have the respect to win a jury vote? I don't exactly know, but I feel like the edit is telling us that she is winning. Xander does not have a top tier edit. The problem with Xander is his edit has been very circumstantial throughout the entire pre-merge, and the only time that it was, and not the only time, but especially like late into the pre-merge, the times that he did get content, it was very negative content, where like we had like Tiffany calling him out for lying, and we had the Liana rivalry and everything. Like, I think his pre-merge was pretty bad, and the only reason he was as high on my contender list was because he is part of Yasa, who I do think is going to contain the winner, which at this point would also pretty much be Tiffany, if my prediction on that is right as well. Do you think Tiffany will be Haley week winner edit? I mean, she's not, like, I mean, if you're talking about like predicting her by the time of the merge, then yeah, kind of. It's vastly different edits though, and also Australian Survivor and Survivor US edit differently. Where, like, I think if Tiffany had gotten a Haley edit up to this point, I would not think that she. I mean, essentially, like, Shan is getting that Haley edit, right? I mean, to a degree, I guess a little bit more negativity in Shan's edit than Haley's. But again, like, if Shan was on Australian Survivor and like her edit was that way, I would think Shan is winning. But this isn't Australian Survivor. Like, that's just not the way that they portray their female winners in particular. And to be fair, Tiffany's is also a bit abnormal, but I think when we're considering the rest of the field, I think hers is the least abnormal. What the fuck is that? Why is the lighting there fucked? What am I looking for? Oh, I'm not paying attention.
Suspicious. All the rooms have windows like this, right? Seems
for Heather too. Again, she's getting nothing. But then I feel like a large portion of that is because, like, she's just not that important to the show, or to the season. Yeah, that's also the thing. Yeah, we haven't had a female Survivor US winner in a while. Last one was Sarah, and Sarah had a very typical female winner edit. So, yeah, I mean, things can change. But again, I don't think Shan would be as overexposed as she was, and also have like as much constant negativity. Where, like, again, like, I feel like Tiffany's main instance of negativity was contained all in that episode 2, while I think Shan has been given more like slight negativity throughout the last few episodes. that makes me feel that she's not as likely to win.
So from this vantage point, you can't make out the person's face.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's only had 2 confessionals after 7 episodes. That's pretty insane. This was a weird episode too, by the way, confessional-wise, where like half the cast got 0 confessionals, despite most of the episode being like at camp. I guess not most of the episode. Actually, that was also a weird thing too, is that we got a really long tribal. Like, I think the tribal started at like 8:38, I think it was, which is very early. Money, obviously, they had to fit in the live tribal elements of it, and also the Liana's knowledge of power and everything.
Whatever you want.
So that was a bit of a change. But I was very surprised that we went to tribal that early. I think that is an element of it, that Shan could be protected here. However, I think 100%, like, the edit was throwing Liana under the bus. Like, Liana's not winning after this. That's why I do have Shan at number 2 right now. But I do think there's a major difference between Shan and Liana. I do think Shan was protected to a degree. I think the thing that is interesting is that in the first conversation between Liana and Shan is wrong, where Shan tells Liana that you can steal Xander's vote, and she Liana instantly turns that down, saying Xander could give it away. I feel like the fact that was shown in the show, and I believe it was subtitled as well, is also, like, I feel like that's a bad sign. I feel like that's the one, like, not great thing about this episode. Everything else was pretty good. Again, she was shown as being the person in charge. She was one of the people leading the live tribal element of the episode. They didn't bring up the fact that it's Shan that fucked up to begin with, that caused this entire thing to happen. Because, again, like, if it wasn't for Shan leaking to Tiffany last episode that Liana had the advantage, then Liana wouldn't be in this position to begin with.
Any objections
So
far?
Yeah. Again, like, Shan, like, I think this was a slight positive for her edit, but not enough to overtake Tiffany for me. And to be honest, I thought last episode was kind of like probably a net negative. So it's like she's probably back to where she probably was, like, at episode 3 or so for me. Episode 4, because I think I was very high episode 3, and then I went down on her episode 4. Either way, never thought Liana was a winner, considering. I definitely, that was the one thing that made me very hesitant on Liana earlier in the season, with her saying my $1 million mistake and talking about, like, how keeping Xander was her $1 million mistake, which, by the way, led up to this. I definitely pegged that earlier, but and kind of went up on her, mainly because, like, the reason why she was number 2 on the power ranking was because I feel very confident that someone from Yasa is winning the game. And mixing that in with Liana's in-game position, where Liana was in a very good in-game position, plus also wasn't completely dead edit-wise, that's why she was number 2. It's not because she had the number 2 edit. Again, I still would have probably had Shan number 2 at that point, right?
Yep. Can you show us the garage next?
Right? Yeah, I would have had Shan number 2 if it was just purely on edit last week. But
the only other place we'll need to
I mean, at this point, like, I think Liana's dead, like, all around. I mean, she's still not in a terrible game position, but I think her edit's dead, though. So it's like, I don't think he's winning. Ricard's not winning either. Ricard's dead. Ricard's been dead for a few episodes for me, but I think last episode was kind of death sentence, and then this episode with him getting no content pretty much at all. I think he's dead too. I do think Ricard's going home relatively soon, if I were to guess. I did find it interesting how, like, the last couple episodes, obviously, like, a major part of his storyline was the like, quote unquote rivalry with Shan. Particularly last episode, obviously, with the beginning of the episode being, like, that being his only content in the merge episode, which is very bad, especially now that the 2-part merge episode's done and he got nothing in this one either. Ricard's dead in the edit. But the sense that I get is I think Shan's going to win the battle between the two. In a similar way that I think Xander's going to end up winning the battle against Liana in their rivalry. Now, I don't know exactly when that means that they'll go home, because I do think Shan's still probably in it for the long haul. Again, like, I've said this, that I think Shan's probably, like, probably the boot like right before the finale, if not like maybe like I don't know if she would be a finale boot though. Like I feel like typically, unless like she's Final Four boot, which I don't think she's Final Four boot. I would guess she's probably like Final 7. Unless they're doing finale at Final 5, then I could see her being Final 6 boot. I feel like that would make sense. But I'm expecting her to be a boot somewhere around there. I think Ricard's probably going to be like, I don't know, Final 9, Final 10. Where are we at now? We're at 11, right? Yeah, so I mean, again, like, I feel like...
It is.
Like, maybe the easy thing happens next week. Evie goes home. After that...
To collect sheets and linens. Pay the crime.
I think Nasir is headed downhill pretty soon. I think Ricard is probably too. And who are we left with after that? Well, where's Danny going though? When is Danny going home? Because I feel like again, I don't think Danny's in it for the long haul either. So I don't know when he's going home. But then where's Liana going home? I guess I just actually think that like a lot of people are going home soon. So I guess actually, yeah, I don't know how to really process this then. Again, people that make the end, I think Leon. But then I didn't even mention Erica. Fuck. Yeah, there's so many people that I think are going home soon. So I guess really it's like Heather. I think Heather's like final. I would say, let's say finale's Final 5. I think Shan would be Final 6. Heather Final 7. I feel like that would make sense to me. Because I think Heather is going to be a boot, or she could be actually no, she could be like the first boot of the finale. That would actually make sense. Like if we have a Final 5 finale, she could be the 5th boot there, and that's why she's invisible because like she's kind of just like kind of like a Denise. What happened to Denise in Winners at War, where Denise was pretty invisible for the entire post merge, and gets taken out at the first. Vote out of the finale. I guess that's kind of I can actually see Heather doing that now that I think about it. Because I was always thinking that Heather was going to be like 7th place or so, but I guess 5th place if it's a 5-person finale, it doesn't make or isn't out of the realm possibility. Yeah, Deshaun. I think Deshaun's in it for the long haul too. It's interesting though that he's like such a big target right now. Because I was surprised that they put the votes on Deshaun. I was not expecting that. Mind you, I mean, like I did expect them to vote for Evie. So I think like at that point when like I realized they were going to vote for Evie, I should have actually realized that Evie was probably going to vote for Deshaun. Because like where else would that storyline be going? Because obviously we saw earlier on that Deshaun and Evie connected, and if that connection didn't mean anything, more than likely that meant that they were going against each other. Cool. I'm still getting these want to buy follower things. How am I still getting these things? Whatever. Fuck it. Delete these.
You get charged with witness intimidation.
Where's the other one? There we go.
Right. Anyway.
Either way.
The victim was last
That's right. Breakfast
being a big target gives you a better chance at winning game. Yes, it does. If you make it past the point where you are the big target. Again, like I feel like if Deshaun gets to the end, like Deshaun probably wins, right?
Exactly turn out that way.
But like I don't feel like his. I mean, I think I bumped him up to number 3 after this episode. Because again, I feel worse about Evie. Xander, again, like his pre-merge edit doesn't really support a win, and then Liana's dead, so it's like I think all of like if a Yasa member is going to win, it's going to be Tiffany, which is what I think is going to happen. I think a Yasa member is going to win. I think it's Tiffany. However, if it's not a Yasa member, then I think Shannon's the most likely from Ua, Deshaun's the most likely from Luvu. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we got the setup in what was it, episode 4, the turtle scene, that that Yasa are the underdogs, and I feel like that's at this point for me, that's also another thing that further cements. I think Tiffany's gonna have this like massive underdog story here that leads to her win. I just don't know the realistic scenario of how it happens. Like I'm assuming I'm assuming Evie goes home soon, then maybe Xander too, but like I don't think. Again, like I feel like other people are being set up for a fall sooner than Xander.
Come on, just give it up already.
But yeah, like I mean, I guess like at that point, like Tiffany's just like not looked at as a massive threat,
Not my problem.
and like kind of just skates along.
Fine, then I'll do it alone.
But it's again, like, it's a very different story than I was expecting coming into this finale.
Sorry, but our
Coming into this finale, I thought Tiffany was going to be like the person in charge of the Sydney vote. I thought she was going to take out Sydney. She was going to blindside Evie. She was going to blindside Liana, and then she would win the game, like playing a dominant game at the end. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think she's probably going to be
if you
like a mostly under the radar player, probably until the like very end of the game.
You don't mind? That would be great.
I think more than, if I were to guess, I still think she probably plays a part in the Liana boot. I don't know about Evie anymore though. Actually, if she plays a part in the Shan boot, that would be interesting. Because that would be like kind of like the Rick Devens sort of situation with Chris Underwood, where he takes out the perceived biggest threat from the edit standpoint, and
Waka-san was here.
I feel like that would be good for her edit too. But
are you finished?
are we finished? Can I leave?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I think I think this is going to be a fluid merge. However, again, like I feel like they're going to probably, like, I mean, well, we're at 11 though. That is a good time to flip.
And what if he confesses?
I think my basic assumption is like usually they stick together for one vote after a merge.
But you're still going to push an innocent
But
kid, even though Okubo-san
yeah, I mean, like,
suffer
again,
for it?
Erica's like barely there, right? That's something else I don't understand. Why did Erica and Heather stick with Luvu?
This is my first criminal case.
When they, I mean, I guess they're voting out Sydney, who they both have gotten content about not liking Sydney. So I guess it makes sense on that end, but
Is that so?
again, this just feels like a wasted opportunity for them to take control of the game. Where if they had gotten together with Yasa and then get Sydney on board as well, that would have been 6.
Terasawa-san.
And with the idol and everything, they could have done something. And if not, then it would have tied.
Yes. I would see him around the ward all the time.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like this was a wasted opportunity. And even then, like, that's assuming that they don't. I mean, I don't know. Ricard seemed pretty locked in, right? With
Director told us not to say too much.
with the other side. Wait, who are the 6 on the other side? Because it's the 4 people in the Black Alliance, Ricard, and Nasir. Nasir. Oh, yeah, they could get Nasir on board, too. Yeah. So they could have gotten the numbers. Potentially. I mean,
I can't do it alone. Just
yeah, I don't know. I feel like this was a wasted opportunity, though. Where would Tiffany land? I mean, again, like, it's very determined on how she plays the game from this point forward. I think she had a solid pre-merge.
Just now. We went to the ADDC.
Again, being on the outs of the merge vote is not great, but we'll have to see how she plays from this point forward. I would.
How did it go?
Actually, I don't know, she could be top tier still if she dominates the rest of the game. I just don't think that's how it's going to happen. I think more than likely she'll be, yeah, probably mid-tier at best, if I were to guess.
It's
But,
like this, Okubo. You tell me you're innocent, and I'll fight to the end. I really have nothing to lose.
Let's
by helping
see.
you
Surprised
out.
Deshaun was the only one acting paranoid. Yeah, that was interesting too. That like I find it funny how like he was so easy. He was so like quick to throw Sydney under the bus. Mind you, again, like if we're looking at like who are the other options, it's Danny, his closest alliance. It's look, Evie was the person who wanted to target, so it was Ricard who had immunity. And then it was Nasir, right? So it's like, which could have been a possibility. However, obviously they talked about wanting to keep men in the game. Yeah, Corey got eliminated on the challenge. Fine episode of the challenge.
That's not true.
Not great, but fine. I feel like the Corey boot was coming for a while now.
And I do.
Like, kind of fun exit from him, but also like, I don't know, it just feels it feels like Corey kind of went back to his old ways with this episode, where it very much felt like the Corey we would see from like Dirty 30, Vendettas sort of era. But yeah, Ricard could have gone home had he not had immunity, but I do feel like they were again, the way Danny and Deshaun were talking. Again, they always seem to be wanting to target a woman. Which, by the way, again, I now I'm ready to do the merge boot ranking, record the merge boot ranking. It's not coming out for a while, but I looked at the list, and I think Sydney's very high. Like, I really didn't, like, I was assuming if Sydney was going to be the boot, I was assuming she was going to be low on the list. Like, I mean, like, probably middle of the road on the list, because again, she was someone that was in the majority, theoretically, for most of, I mean, come on, again, like, didn't make them, I mean, fuck this entire, like, merge thing. Yeah, she's the merge boot.
Aren't you forgetting the bad blood?
Like, it's the same thing with me with, Michelle, where, Michelle Yee. I'm not considering Michelle Yee the merge boot because, like, she wasn't voted out at the merge, like the tribal where everyone was together. Like, I'm considering Edgardo the merge boot for my merge boot ranking. It's like same thing here, where it's like, again, even though there is, I mean, it's actually kind of the opposite here, but either way, it's like it was the first tribal where the entire cast was together, voted someone out.
Did you take his wallet or?
Yeah, I'm considering the merge boot. Do I have a solid number one? Yes, but it's definitely not who I thought it was going to be. Not at all. I will say. Actually, really, the top three are mind-blowing to me, based on how I came into the list. I mean, it's not if you actually think about it, but it is when you... Like, when you think of, like, the best merge boots of all time, I don't think the top... I mean, now it's top three. Like, are the people that you would expect. Like, I'm by the way, it's not Matt Elrod or Chris Noble. Spoiler for... I'm pretty sure that's the bottom. I don't actually... Like, I'm pretty sure Matt Elrod's at least at the bottom. I don't remember if Chris Noble is second from the bottom, but...
Calm down.
Not particularly high. Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. I just opened it. Yeah, so, yeah, top three, kind of mind-blowing to me. By the way, no one has mentioned my number one pick. Actually, really, no one's mentioned any of the top three, which is even more. Well, I mean, okay, top two at least. Yeah, this is it's funny. Because like the merge boot criteria is very weird because with the merge boot you only see half of you only see half the game essentially. You see the pre-merge, which is usually like relatively one note, and if it's not one note, then it is very like luck based. Like there's a lot of luck based things that happen in the pre-merge in terms of swaps, like how those play out, and then also with the merge where there's certain people that just like come in the merge down in numbers and don't have that much to really that they could really do from that point.
Maybe so, but this is my case now.
So it's like it is very tough to... I just realized I have Wendell listed as from Ghost Island on my list. That's not right. But either way, because obviously I'm talking about Winners at War, Wendell. But yeah, I mean, again, definitely not the list that I thought I'll be putting together.
Yagami-san.
Oh, fuck.
Have you seen?
Yeah, I did create tiers.
She's just not that great with men.
Like, I mean, there's like, yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, similar but not similar to like how I would rank my. Actually, to be honest, it's probably more similar to how I did my final juror ranking. I think that's probably the closest to.
Hey, nothing's official yet, guys.
How this list is put together.
On the down low, okay?
Yet.
Which, if you remember my criteria for my final juror ranking, I think you would probably have a better understanding of who's at the top. Oh, am I not leaving? This is a flashback still, right?
I'll keep my lips sealed.
Sure, don't care. Yeah. Yeah, there's also like kind of a weird... I need to remember exactly. So I'm going to probably record this on Friday. I think. But I definitely need to refamiliarize with the list because
this isn't going to be an easy win.
I remember that there's like essentially two tiers that are very similar to each other, but are actually like kind of far apart by like a technicality. But anyway, yeah. So again, merge boot ranking again. It will be one of the first videos of next year. That's when that will be coming out. But yeah, now I finally can put it together though. Oh yeah, Big Brother VIP. I haven't talked about that. I'm liking it now. Again, like I did not love the premiere. I thought the premiere was pretty bad, really, for what I want from it. But I thought these last two episodes were pretty good, largely due to Luke. Like I'm surprised that I'm not surprised, but like Luke is Luke still in Big Brother, and it's pretty great to see like him really trying to pull off these big moves for not really that much benefit, especially the first one. But it is fun to see him like working with like Josh, who seems like his David figure. It's kind of funny how like he essentially found his David, right? Like Josh is essentially David. Maybe not as like not as fun as a character, I guess, but like very similar, like archetype wise at least, of being like these model sort of physical guys that he can technically use as a meat shield, but also someone that he can like use as someone to talk about strategy with and everything. So that's cool. I am surprised. Do I really want to get into spoilers? I don't know if I really want to talk fully about spoilers in case some people haven't watched it yet. But yeah, there definitely was a pretty big blind side this last episode, though. That was fun.
You won't get away.
Kind of. I mean, like to be honest, the begin. Okay, that was me being terrible. But outside of like Luke, like making the move he did in this last episode, the game's played out like similarly to how I thought. Again, like I can't. Well, I mean, at this point, I might as well just go spoilers, right? Like I'm like really just like beating around the bush when like I'm essentially spoiling it anyway. So again, spoilers for Big Brother VIP. Apologize if anyone hasn't watched it. Like again, Omarosa and Thomas being early like targets, not a surprise. Again, like I was expecting the Americans to be targeted early. It is interesting that Caitlyn isn't being targeted within that, which I don't know if is indicative of Caitlyn being a decent player or if it's more so just she has more clout, which I think it's the latter. But yeah, that's something. Yeah, seeing Luke and Danny together is fun. Like it's really cool to see these, because like essentially Danny is the like Big Brother version of Luke, and to see like them these two together now and like seeming to want to work together, it should be fun. It should be fun to see how this plays out moving forward. It's also funny because like, okay, so again, like spoiler for this last episode, Matt is blindsided, who I said it in my last stream. I thought Matt had the winner after episode 1, so I was wrong on that. Like I thought Matt had a pretty good premiere, but then like he's just kind of like not even like he's barely on the show after that though, which is funny. Like even in this boot episode, he's barely there. So I feel like he really gives me a lot of like Derek Levasseur energy of like him being this like kind of older than the rest of the people. Like I mean he's not even actually older, but like he comes off as like a very like dad figure. Him still being like kind of like a bro-y guy that is aligned with all the other guys and seems to be strategically able, but again obviously not to Derek's level at all, but like that was kind of like the vibes I was getting from him, but that didn't end up doing much. Yeah, VIP started with teams. The teams are already done, though. It was only for the first 2 episodes. So, yeah, I mean, like, essentially what happened is that, I mean, this is all dumb, but the premiere started with a challenge. There was a challenge that Ellie wins, then later in the episode, well, okay, actually I messed up because at the beginning, okay, but this is fucking dumb. So essentially there was a random draw that 3 people were going to be able to live in the penthouse. However, the penthouse doesn't end up being the penthouse, ends up being a shit thing, whatever, who cares? That's Big Brother Australia for you. But out of those 3 people, Ellie gets to pick one of those people to take out of the penthouse. That person is the person that she's teamed up with. They have to do a task, whatever, who cares? But essentially, the person that she ends up picking also becomes the other team captain. So she ends up picking Caitlyn. So Ellie and Caitlyn become the team captains. They drafted for teams. And then for these first 2 episodes, they've been playing in teams where if your team wins, then the team captain gets to nominate people from the other team. And, Caitlyn targeted Omarosa. Omarosa went home. And then Ellie targeted Thomas, and Thomas didn't go. Matt went home instead. But yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the game plays out now that, like, we're not in a position where they're being dictated by teams. I really hated the team twist, by the way. I did not like that it really narrowed down the options because, like, they're nominating 3 people, but these teams only have 6 people on them. Actually, not even that, because, like, they started off without Danny, so I think it was, like, 5 and 6, right? It's like, that's even more ridiculous. So you're nominating, like, at least half the team. Like, that's just fucking dumb. But, yeah, like, kind of out of BB Can playbook. I mean, I doubt they actually looked at BB Can, if I were to guess. But, yeah, kind of a similar thing.
Why hasn't anyone mentioned this until now?
Yeah, I like Josh. I mean, Josh is like, again, he's like a lesser version of David. Like David Gennett, whatever, from Australian Survivor, where he's like this strategic model type. He does have fun confessionals. Like he had some fun confessionals this episode of him being pissed at Jessica. But again, he's not as good as David.
Really?
But I think he could be fun moving forward. And then Jessica, I'm fine with Jessica. Like she seems like a fun-ish character. I do get her confused with Imogen a lot though, and I feel like they're kind of very similar. Kind of feels weird they're both on the same cast when like they feel exactly the same in terms of archetype. But I mean, she's fine. Again, she's interesting character at least. Don't know if she's playing the game too much though. What were the teams called? I don't think they gave them official. Like they did, but they didn't. Like essentially, I think what was it? Caitlyn's called themselves the Generators, right? And then I think the other team gave themselves a name too, but I didn't really pay attention. But it wasn't like an official thing. It was more so like they just called themselves that. I'm pretty sure like the show refers to them as Team Caitlyn and Team Ellie. But either way, am I Canadian? No, I'm not. I'm American. Well, I mean, I guess whatever. Yeah.
This break room, to be precise.
As technically, if we want to be fully correct, Canadians are part of America. But either way, I'm from the United States. Imogen's the boring version of Jessica. I feel like they're both on the same level. Like I feel like they're both. I sound disappointed saying that. I mean, I don't really care. Like, to be honest, I've never been someone that's been very patriotic, no matter what country I'm from. I just think the concept of being, I guess, patriotic just at all just feels so weird to me. Like, essentially loving the country that you're from just because you were randomly born there is something that I just always found weird, but whatever. Am I planning to do a Survivor Top 10 Pre-Merge Tribal Council video? Yes, I have that listed in my video ideas, but again, not really, like, it's not on the schedule or anything.
No further questions.
But, yeah, definitely a video I would want to do, though. Same thing with post-merge. Like, if I do one, I'll do the other as well.
Why did you call her to the stand?
Do I have a Canadian accent?
Is that a problem?
Yeah, like I never actually pay attention to that sort of thing. Who's the best merge boot for Australian Survivor? I will be doing that video at some point, but I haven't done it yet. But because I will be doing it after Blood versus Water, so I'm holding off on making that video. But I mean, if we're actually so who do we have? We have Connor, who's not great. Like not terrible, but like very like like very middle of the road.
Yes.
We have Jared, who's probably better.
I felt his wording was rather imprecise.
We have
and as a medical professional, I felt his actions
Lydia. I don't know. How would I even assess Lydia? I haven't actually even thought about that.
Claims he saw Waku-san
but I would guess Jared would be higher.
However, there's no way.
Yeah, I would assess Jared would be higher than Lydia. I
have evidence.
Australian Survivor, Championship Contender. Andy, Andy would be low. You got All Stars, Lockie. I don't know. With Lockie and Jared, I think they're kind of in around the same spot. Again, kind of similar game positions. I feel like Lockie was more out in front, but also like wasn't necessarily making strategic decisions. Like wasn't the one making the strategic decisions. So I'll have to think about how to assess those two. And then you got Kez, who's probably like decently high, but like probably not on that same level. I would say Jared. If I were to guess, I would say Jared would be number one. But again, I haven't like truly assessed them to actually make the decision. I'm gonna rank jury speeches. In terms of performances. I would want to at some point, but I haven't actually thought about actually doing it yet. Mainly because like Big Brother jury performances are kind of tough to rank, especially recent ones where they're barely given any time to do anything, and it just feels like more of a formality in recent seasons. So I think it's tough to like really distinguish like say like Casey's performance from BB20 to well, I guess if we're doing BB Can, it would be a different thing. But either way, it's like because BB Can, I guess they're all the same, aren't they? Because they're all with the new format. But like if we're doing like US, it would be like weird to like compare like again like Xavier's to like Dan's, where Dan had so much time to explain his game, while like Xavier was just like barely had any time to talk. Yeah, like if I were to guess for BB Can, yeah, Pax Bros were bad. Jillian was also bad. Like, to be honest, I don't remember a lot of the performances. I'm trying to think. Like Ty's was like fine, right? I think he had like a really good speech, but like had like a bad actual answers, right? I think if I remember right, that was what Ty's was. Like Dane, I don't remember Dane's that well. I don't remember Anthony's. Like Braden had an okay final speech, right? I barely remember them, to be honest. Like I would have to rewatch them.
The murderer was already hiding in the room.
Well, Australian Survivor 2002 and Celebrity. So Australian Survivor 2002, you have Karen, who is like middle of the road to me. She wasn't someone that was like integrated within the core group. It didn't seem like, at least. Again, like, it's weird because like obviously Australian Survivor 2002 doesn't focus on the gameplay as much, so we don't really know exactly where everyone is placed. But my estimation is that I feel like Naomi was in the best spot in the pre-merge. And then she was with Craig and Sylvan early on. They cut Sylvan, but then like have Karen there as well. So I don't know where exactly Karen. Oh, yeah, Kevin is the best. Yeah, Kevin's the best. It's not even close. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think Kevin has one of the best Big Brother jury performances ever, especially for his individual season. I think it's a really incredible performance. But yeah, then Celebrity. Well, I mean, Celebrity Merge Boot was the fucking winner. It's like, so how do I rank that? Like, obviously, I would rank it based on, like, up to the merge, right? Which, actually, it would be, like, decently high, because, like, he was, at least the initial leader of his tribe, but then he does lose power pretty quickly.
In other words,
I mean, again, like, I still think Jared would be number one. I would, like, Jared or Lockie, it would be one of the two. I would have to reassess both their games from those seasons, but I think it would be one of those two. I really don't care about what's going on in the game, so whatever.
Waku-san was already dead when Shono-san went to check on him.
What are you
which Survivor US Final Tribal losers had better speeches than the winner?
He hadn't even arrived.
Let's see. I mean, okay. Can I bring up my list? Because like the thing is, like obviously I have a ranking coming out pretty soon where I rank all the winning ones and losing ones all in their own individual lists. I do think for the most part the winners have had better performances as a whole. Like I feel like if I were to merge the two lists, it would be very stacked towards the winners at the end, obviously. Which is why I like felt like it was worth splitting them up, especially because they're both very long to begin with, especially the losing one. But
Sorry. Let me start.
yeah, in terms of like which losers had better performances, like right away Chase Rice comes to mind.
However,
But I mean, to be fair, Fabio didn't have a bad performance either, though. I guess that is like, but I think Chase has one of the better losing ones. It's always weird. Like, this is the thing with Final Tribal performance is that, like, I kind of talked about in the past, that's like the thing that's tough for me to distinguish is how they worked on the jury that they were talking to, and like how they would have worked on me. Because that's the thing, is like Chase's Final Tribal performance would have worked on me. Like I would have voted for Chase. I think Chase performed incredibly. And like while Fabio's wouldn't have worked on me. But Fabio's worked very well with the people that he ended up getting the votes from. Essentially the Nyankas of the world, the Purple Kellys of the world, the Martys of the world, the Dans of the world. Like it worked very well on those people, but it just simply wouldn't work on me. And like obviously I have to assess it based on how they worked with their juries, because that's what they are doing. Like they're literally pleading to the jury in front of them for them to vote for them. But it's also like kind of a weird thing when it's like I know it wouldn't work on me. Same thing with Adam Klein's performance from Millennium Gen X. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Fabio's answer about his mom was perfect for Nyanka, but it wouldn't work on me. Like I just don't give a shit when he's talking about his mom. And the same thing is like Adam in Millennium Gen X. His entire performance is talking about how Hannah made bad decisions throughout the game and all this stuff. When it's like, to me, it's like Adam failed at like a lot of the things that he's taking credit for in his Final Tribal performance, and that simply wouldn't work on me. It's like he's essentially like bringing up his failures in the game as like reasons to vote for him. Like he talks about like how essentially he's like, oh, Ken and Hannah are idiots because they didn't vote out David. I tried to vote out David. But he's essentially also saying, I failed at voting out David because I didn't actually have control in the game. And, like, that wouldn't work on me. But it worked very well for the jury. So it's like those sort of things. Yeah, Haley's another example. Again, Haley's performance was great for her jury. And I actually think Haley's performance was actually good. It's just that I think, like, I still would have voted for George. And actually, to be fair, like, I think Haley's performance was still better than George's. Either way. Yeah, Christie's is another example. Like Christie's jury performance would not work on me. But again, that's another situation though where like Lee's wasn't good either. So it's like it's not like where I think Hannah actually performed well. While I think like Adams wouldn't, like, again, like Adams wouldn't work on me while I think Hannah's did well. Like it's kind of different here where it's like Christie's won't work on me, but like Lee's was also bad.
I'll get right to on the day of the crime.
But yeah, in terms of like ranking them, it would be
I saw
like I haven't actually, like, obviously I haven't thought about doing Australian Survivor or Survivors of Africa just yet.
Did you get a clear look at his face?
South Africa would be such a clusterfuck too, because like some of those earlier ones, like you could just tell that they just didn't give a shit. Like the first few seasons of South Africa. But whatever.
Isn't that right?
Objection.
Oh, no, I don't think I would. Like, I don't think I would be, like, I wouldn't be like a Spencer or like a David Murphy or any of these people that would like really prop up the people. Like, because like really realistically, like these people should be making their own cases and should be like, what is it, like, even though like I like these, like I personally like the David Murphy speech, I like the Eric Cardona speech where we have these jury members like making these speeches for the people at the Final Tribal. However, I don't think it's their role in the game. Like, it's not their role. I mean, to be fair, obviously the person at Final Tribal Council did something to get that jury member to react that way to prop them up, but also I wouldn't be the one that does that. Like, I wouldn't be the one that actually makes that speech. Yeah, Tribal is insane. Really fun Tribal.
However, the defense is proven without a doubt that
again, like I think in terms of like when I did my final Tribal Council ranking, like one of the criteria was that it needed to be like consistently entertaining, because I think like people were upset with my ranking because
with such inconclusive evidence.
like there are a lot of votes where like the vote out was really good, but like the Tribal before that was kind of meh. Like this is a Tribal that does like fit into that qualification. Like it's like it was consistently great the entire way.
So your whole case.
What do you think of that move? Which move? Of Xander's move? I think it was a good move. I do think it was like very obvious to make though once they know the power. Like I literally write in my notes for the episode at the point where we learned that Tiffany told Evie about about Liana's advantage. I literally wrote in my notes, so Xander's gonna give his advantage to Tiffany. Like that's literally like the thing that makes sense. Like it's the obvious move. So like, I don't know, like it's a good move. It's a good move. It's like kind of an obvious one if you're like game savvy at all. But to me, the Sydney, like the move to vote out Sydney is more interesting to me. Where like it's her own, it's a lot of her own alliance that votes out Sydney. Where it's Deshawn. I mean, really, it's all the Lubus, right? Yeah, all the Lubus vote out Sydney. It's just Yasa that sides with her.
6 years ago,
which again is really insane. Did not expect it to be that way.
And the cause? A minor.
Oh yeah, that's also actually I didn't even think about that. Yeah, why didn't Liana realize that Xander showing his idol meant that he didn't have the idol still? When like she knew that Xander knew about her advantage. Which, by the way, knowledge of power advantage sucks. I hate it, but at least this made it tolerable that they like that it got leaked to the entire tribe, because that reduced the power of the advantage because it allowed Yasa to counter it. So yeah, thank God for that, and it made it more fun. Again, great moment. I'm gonna rank final twos based on entertainment. That's not a massive priority. I do have I do have on my video idea list of ranking all the final twos, final threes, and like essentially all the people that make it to the end based on gameplay. But I haven't actually considered doing it on entertainment. Really, in general, like I know people want me to do more like character-based stuff. Like people like wanted me to do like my top 10 like favorite players or top 10 favorite characters and that sort of stuff. Which again, I want to do at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it just yet. Maybe she thought Xander thought she was on his side. I guess that's probably the explanation, right? Is that yeah? Because she didn't know, right? She didn't. Well, but then wait. What did Xander say to Danny? Xander. Yeah, I mean, like Xander campaigned against her, right? To Danny. It's like she should have like at least had an inkling. I mean, either way, like it's a tough situation either way at that point, because either way you're playing Russian roulette essentially with who you're going to ask. Because really, it's like there's also a reason for Xander to keep the idol, where like if he makes a blatant display that he has the idol, there's also the possibility that they look at that as that being like a count, like it could be them thinking that they're trying to make them think that Xander. Again, it's like there's a lot of like a stuff involved with that could definitely mix things up there. But what do I think of the NZ merge boots? Who do you got? You got Lee? That was his name, right? New Zealand season 1.
Only a month after his release.
Right? That was yeah, Lee. That was his name. And then New Zealand 2 was Aaron. I think Aaron's good. Aaron's really good. Or not really good, but I mean like merge boot standards. I think he's good. Lee's kind of just like he's the second in command to Mike, who is someone that like was just a big threat and everything. yeah, it's like he's probably middle of the road Realistically, I think Aaron's probably maybe top tier merge boot. But I just realized that this entire stream so far has been a flashback. That is such bullshit. Whatever.
Nothing, Vice Minister. But I haven't seen you in about 3 years, Kido-san.
What else do we got? If we're talking about them based on games played on the seasons, what's the best social strategy? Final 2, JT and Steven, or Dane and Anthony?
I'm a detective.
That's tough, but I think it's Dane and Anthony. Especially if we're talking about in comparison to if we're talking about within the course of their shows, like Dane and Anthony is, again, like the top 2 players of all time for me, for BB Can. And the fact that they're the final 2 is insane there. While like JT and Steven, they're both really good, but they're not like the top 2 Survivor players ever. Like I think JT and Steven are probably the top 2 survive. Yeah, they're probably I would guess they're the top. At least final 2 in Survivor. I think with final 3 is obviously tougher because you usually have one person dragging it down. I found Mike to be really unlikable. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I mean, like, he definitely wasn't portrayed to be, like, some sort of hero or anything. Like, he was, like, it's weird because, like, he kind of was, but kind of wasn't. Like, he was portrayed, like, half the time he was portrayed as, like, a Joe kind of figure. Like, Joe Englund, like, before the... before now. But, the other half of it was that he was, like, this kind of cocky leader figure. Like, I mean, I don't think he was supposed to be, like, super, super likable. So, definitely not a surprise. Yeah, that's what it's like. You have Robin Nicole and SA, but then you have Doral, who like really knocks it down.
However, it's unclear as to what the point of the call was meant to be. Shono was away from,
I mean, obviously, like if we're talking about Australian Survivor 2, then we got George and Haley, who are very high. But I would say like George and Haley are probably lower than JT and Steven.
And sees no reason why he would be calling.
So, I mean, maybe they're number... Again, I haven't fully thought through this, but I would guess they're number 3. I mean, David and Sharn isn't the worst thing in the world either.
Sometimes complete strangers pretend to be close.
Like, obviously, Sharn is, like, way lower than David, but, like, she's still, like, not bad.
Have you heard of the mole murders?
Kia Baden, Shane Sharn,
3 Yakuza, each one
Jericho Tara. Yeah, the other ones aren't that great, but... Survivor UK merge boots. Who do we got? We got Simon. That was his name, right? And we got...
What are you implying?
Helen.
There's nothing I can help.
I think Simon's the better player.
Please stop! You can't!
Yeah, I would say Simon than Helen. Even though Simon, I think, had a rougher end game. Now, again, none of this actually matters, right? But either way, I think, like, even though Simon... Like, Helen had... Like, if Helen had gotten the quiz right, whatever, at the merge, she's pretty much guaranteed final 3, but it's like it's very rarely getting the final 2. And even if she does, I don't think she's winning. While Simon... Well, I think Simon also probably had a tough time winning. But I think Simon was more impressive in the pre-merge than Helen was. Where he was like a massive swing vote for a lot of the game up until that point. And kind of just like comes into the merge down in numbers, doesn't really have a chance at that point. But even then, like he was kind of on the... Like he would have the... Like force a tie with Charlotte at 4. Like if that 4 was going to get final 4, he would have had to cause a tie, win out in the tie, and then... It would probably have to be against Charlotte and just Charlotte not having the underdog arc. But even then, I don't know if Simon wins. So, yeah, I mean... Anyway. Do I think them voting Sydney was anti-Semitic? Are there people claiming that? Because obviously I think that's insane.
He murdered his girlfriend, Emi Terasawa, with a kitchen knife.
Oh, yeah, like I talked about this earlier, where it's like I think Sydney... I think at the point where you're going to split the vote on Sydney, you have to... I mean, you don't have to, but I think it makes sense to vote out Sydney. Where, like, it's kind of like the Kelly Bruno situation in Nicaragua, where they split the vote on Kelly Bruno and Marty, but once Marty doesn't play the idol, and Ty is like they still vote out Kelly Bruno. I think there's kind of a similar thing where it's like once you flip on Sydney, I do think it's very dangerous to be keeping her in the game, especially when she's someone that could win challenges, could play idols, or could find idols, and I think is more likely to do it than Evie.
It's your call, Yagami-san.
Plus, also, it's like I feel like she would,
I think I'll pass.
at least in the current game circumstance, be more.
You have your answer, sir.
Like it would make more sense for her to be able to reintegrate herself afterwards.
Next time it won't be voluntary.
Where like with Evie, if she even if she survives this round, like she's coming into next round with a 3-person alliance that is a massive threat, and she's still going to be a target for next round. So I think it makes sense to get rid of
Your
Sydney.
friend's nothing now. Just come along quietly.
Where I rank Nate and Tara as final jurors. Again, like I will more than likely be doing a final international. Actually, no, I have that on the schedule, right?
Suspect me anyway.
I think I have both that international and merge boot. International Survivor. Yeah, there's not until a bit later though, but sometime next year I'll do them. But either way, Nate's bad. I mean, they're both bad. They're both really bad. I mean, Nate's someone that like would have been fucked if they didn't, if they went to tribal before a swap. Gets a very beneficial swap. And like while he's like technically in the majority moving forward, he really has no say in that majority, and is always like fodder to be taken out at 4. He gets taken out 4 once. Redemption Island comes back in the game, gets taken out 4 again. Isn't even able to get his closest ally in Barb to want to keep him in the game, where she decides to throw her game. Nate's not good. And Tara, again, Tara actually throws her game at Final 4. So, I don't know. They're both bad.
Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. But what
Where I ranked the Premiere 41, I think I said top 10.
That's a good point.
For sure.
How would the police
At the time. And we talked about this at the time. I don't remember exactly where I had it, but I think it was like...
It would be a waste coming here.
I'm trying to think. Like, it would be... Okay, fuck it. Let's look at my Premiere ranking. I don't fucking remember anymore. Like, I know what, like, the top spots are, but I don't think... It's not, like, the top of the top, but... It is probably, like, a tier below that. Just bring it up real quick. My computer's running really slow for whatever reason. That's lovely. Okay, so, I mean, like, it's probably worse than Winners at War. Micronesia? I think it's probably lower than Micronesia. I would say it's probably around Philippines spot. I don't know, but Philippines had the Zane stuff. But then this also had, like, the Sarah vote out, which was very fun. 2-hour episode. I don't know. I'm thinking it probably... Actually, but yeah, is it better than like Pearl Islands? Is it better than Ghost Island? Game Changers? Game Changers had the Tony stuff. I don't know. I feel like number 10 makes sense. But it could be a little bit higher. Then where's the Merge Boot rank? I mean, this is the thing. So next year I will be doing a Merge Boot ranking at some point. Do I include this episode as the Merge Boot? Like, that's something I don't really get why I should do there. Like, Merge Tribal is easy. Like, I'm going to include the Sydney Tribal as the Merge Tribal. But when I do, like, a Merge episode ranking, do I include...
Can I help you?
This episode as the Merge episode, or do I include... Did I say Merge Boot earlier? Either way. Yeah, do I include this episode, or do I just include the previous one?
Forget something, sir?
Like, that's the thing that I don't know what I should do. Because at least with, like, Pearl Islands... with Pearl Islands, like, it actually was officially, like, a part 1, part 2, right? With the Outcast twist.
I believe he's in the protein abnormalities lab.
But even then, like, actually, even then, like, I'm probably only going to include part 2.
That's correct.
Because, like, part 1 includes... Yeah, because it was what the part 1, what the part 2. But either way, part 1, like, included the Sean and Austin vote out. So it's like, I'll probably only include part 2 in that.
Kido-san seemed pretty busy.
Just include this episode?
I'll try back later.
Are you sure, sir?
Maybe I'll do that.
Good call. There's no chance
I don't know.
Kido-san would let us know.
I feel like it's kind of a weird
At least
spot,
now
though.
we know where Shono is.
Like, what should I make the rule? I mean, I guess we'll have to see what 42 does, and if 42 does a similar thing. But I'm kind of thinking I might just include both and just do it as one. Like, I might make the rule just from the point where the tribes come together until the merge vote out. But that doesn't go along with what I did with the premiere ranking.
Yeah.
Because with that, I said it was like everything on the day of the actual premiere. I don't know. Where is this thing? Oh, is it this? What the fuck was that? What do you want, Bryce? How do you think Heather played this round? She's nothing. I mean, like, what do you want me to say? I mean, there's like literally nothing to say. Like, she's barely there. I don't get why she voted with Luvu. Or with Danny and Deshaun, I should say. Like, I guess she doesn't like Sydney, but I do think it would have been a better move for her to flip.
That's not on this map.
What the?
Next video, it's the Final Tribal Council ranking.
Was up on the
This.
floor.
Oh, yeah, those are coming out soon. I didn't even think about that. Those are coming out soon, aren't they? Yeah, so this Saturday will be my Final Tribal Council ranking. Next Wednesday, again, it's Assassin's Creed Revelations retrospective. Most people don't care. But then Saturday after that will be the winning Final Tribal Council performance. And then the Saturday after that will be the losing Final Tribal Council performance. And all those videos are really long. So that's something at least. Again, the Final Tribal Council ranking is 1 hour long. Like pretty much 1 hour, 14 seconds. The winning Final Tribal Council performance video is 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 13 seconds. And then the losing Final Tribal Council performance video is 1 hour, 52 minutes, 47 seconds. So, those are going to be very long.
Hey, Director Keto's office. We were just in there.
I watched a new video. No, I have not. Come and learn with Pibby. Who I think is the next biggest target on the board. I think Evie is the obvious one. The question is, do they flip before that? Like, I think if the status quo is maintained, I think Evie is the next boot. But will it, though? And if it doesn't, then, like, I feel like it would make sense for,
Suspicious. This is where we are now. The ADDC.
I think it would make sense for Danny to go home. But, like, I don't know. I don't think Danny... Like, to me, it feels like... I feel like Ricard seems like a more immediate boot. But I feel like it makes game sense for Danny to go home. It's not, like, out of the realm possibility for Danny to go home soon. But, like, I feel like if they're flipping... They're going to flip against Ricard. Or, going to flip against Danny first of that majority. Oh, it's the Adult Swim thing you mentioned? Okay. But yeah. What is this? Oh, I think I've seen the thumbnail for this. Okay, this just looks... I'm just, like, scrolling through it. This looks fucking weird. But yeah, I probably won't watch it right now, though. Will I ever do a video longer in my winter ranking? I think so. I think it's coming. Not too long from now, too. I talked about this. I'm doing a runner-up, a global runner-up ranking for the, was it 3-year anniversary of the channel? Right? I think it's 3 years. This, was it on... I'll be coming out, as of right now, it'll be coming out February 12th. So yeah, 3-year anniversary of the channel. So yeah, global runner-up ranking, which will be very long. Will it be 3 hours? I don't know, like, okay, wait, so the other one was like 2 hours and like 5 minutes or something, right? It was like a little bit over 2 hours. Like, I think it'll definitely be longer. I don't know if it'll quite hit 3 hours. Actually, something I want to see right now. I want to see if I add up the times. I'm thinking my winter rankings now would be longer, though. But if I were to add up the time for my original winter ranking, and my international one. So yeah, that's like, okay, 2 hours and 8 minutes is my global winner ranking. So I want to look at my runner-up ranking. Like, what is the total time if I add up the international? The international runner-up ranking was already over an hour. I didn't even remember that. Fuck me. Okay, yeah, so I would guess like 2:45. That's kind of what I would guess, like 2:30, 2:45. I don't think it'll quite hit 3 hours. Because I do think if I were to do a runner-up ranking now for US, it would be probably slightly longer than an hour 22. I think it'll probably be like an hour 45. And then like adding in the runner-up ranking, which is probably around the length that it would still be, which was an hour and 1 minute. Yeah, I think like 2:45 kind of makes sense. But yeah. Yeah, ranking of every BB Can player, whenever that, if I do decide to do that, that will be long. The thing is, though, with that, I won't go into as much detail, though, as I do with, like, a runner-up ranking. Especially, like, with a lot of the earlier people. And to be honest, like, I've already done the top 10, too. So, like, do I really need to go that in detail on the top 10? So,
Research wing must be just
I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a chance that that's actually not super long. Because, like, how many BB Can players are there? Because if I'm doing this after BB Can 10, especially if, like, 10 ends up being All-Stars, this would be, like, even shorter than I'm talking, but because what is there? There's like barely 100, right? BB Can players. Let's see, 108, 118. Is that a thing? No, 106. I see 106. I don't know if that's right, but if it is 106, then yeah, like. I'm probably only going to talk about oh yeah, 100. Yeah, it's 106. Yeah, I won't be including. So yeah, if it's like without also, yeah, it'll be around 120. So
some kind of security.
Let's see. So like on my normal rankings, I end up talking about each person. I think on like an average of like 2.5 to 3 minutes. If I were to guess, if I'm doing this sort of player ranking, I would guess I'm going to talk about them for like maybe 1 to 2 minutes. I think it'll be shorter for sure. So I mean that'll be around 2 hours, right? I mean like it will be longer than 2 hours probably. Actually, so yeah, I guess it will be long. It'll probably be longer than the global winner ranking, but I don't know if it'll quite be the runner-up ranking length.
Of course.
Great, we'll take you up.
Am I excited for Challenge All Stars 2? Yeah. I'm excited to like in kind of the same way I was excited for like Big Brother VIP. Where it's like. I'm interested in watching it. Like, I'll definitely watch it. I'll
really appreciate this
make a video on it. Like, I mean, I'm probably more excited for like All Stars 3 personally, just by looking at the cast on paper. Which, by the way, I did see that. Well, I don't want to say it because it's spoilery. But again, like another like what the fuck casting thing. But that's the challenge for you at this point.
So Hashimoto-san, what kind of work do you yourself do here?
Yeah, BB Can 8's going to make it tough because obviously no one made it. Like, where do I put Brooke and Sheldon? I think that's like, especially that in particular is going to be tough. I feel like for like a lot of these other ones, like it's not going to be like as. Actually, something that'll be funny is like, that'll be funny if I rank them based on the RJP Brant Steele. Because it's funny that like to me, like sometimes I like think of BB Can 8 and I think of like things that happen to Brant Steele as if that actually happened in reality, that I have to realize like, oh shit, this season got canceled after 4 weeks or whatever. Whenever I think of BB Can 8, I do think of Sheldon as the most likely winner.
It'll be the first dementia cure.
Yeah, this tribal's probably top 10 for sure.
But
I haven't looked at my top 10. Like, it's better than the Edge of Extinction live tribal.
Finally cure Alzheimer's disease.
That's right.
So,
Do you know how many
there's
dementia
that at
patients
least.
there are in Japan alone?
A couple hundred.
Which I think that puts I think that was at number 9.
Right. As of 2012, there were 4.62 million.
I'm trying to look it up right now.
By 2025, that number will.
I'm surprised that video doesn't have more dislikes, by the
potentially
way.
up to 13 million, including.
You would think it would.
That's one in every.
Considering, I'm sure a lot of people that are looking for like top 10 tribals and stuff like expect to actually see the tribals in the videos. I'm surprised it doesn't have more dislikes. What have I done? Oh my god, what a shitty font. Why didn't I use survive
Worldwide,
on?
it's estimated there will
Whatever.
be 135
Oh no, that was number
million
10. Okay, I thought it was higher. I thought it was, what's number 9? Debbie Blindside. Okay, I thought that was higher too.
This could be a real miracle.
No votes is at 8. I don't remember this list.
This is making me feel kind of bad.
Lauren idled out a 7.
Director
And that was
Keto will
pretty
go
good,
down in
though.
history if we achieve this.
A lot's changed in 3 years.
Jeff Blindside
Really
at
made a name for
6.
himself.
Be nice.
Rock draw. Oh yeah, all the rock draws are here, right? Oh no, I don't think Marquesas is, right? John Blindside's only number 3. Oh yeah, because because like before the vote out, it's not that entertaining, right? Malcolm Blindside number 2. Sarah Blindside number 1. I still stick by that number 1 for sure. Again, that's also something I want to do. I want to do top 10 vote offs that I never got around to doing. Because essentially I was going to do that as a sequel video to this, because again, this is the entire tribal as a whole, while top 10, I wanted to do a ranking of just the vote out portion of tribal, because I feel like that would give a very different result. Or not very different. I mean, to be fair, Malcolm Blindside and John Hennigan Blindside are still probably, and for Sarah Blindside, they're probably still the top 3.
Hey, calm down. I just want to talk.
I don't know if the rock, either of the rock draws make it though.
Doesn't know you're here, does he?
Even the Jeff Blindside, is probably lower on the list.
Ichinose-san.
No votes tribal's probably not there. Debbie Blindside's probably
The guy from the line.
hovering top 10. Julia Boot definitely isn't there. So I think, the bottom portion of the list would probably be a bit more. Will be different. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say there before that. But I guess the top 3 are probably still
Kiro-san called you vice minister.
hovering around top 3.
I'm sorry. But
Yeah, Lauren Rimmer, not Lauren O'Connell. Why would I talk about Lauren O'Connell?
You can boss scientists around.
If Jay Vatters won Survivor, would he be a worse player than Wendy Cho? Probably not, right? I feel like it's tough to be a worse player than Wendy Cho.
Shono-san, please. Just need a few minutes to talk. We'll leave right after we're done, promise.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a chance. I know nothing about him as a person. I've literally just watched one of his videos. But I would guess no.
This is important, Shono.
Wendy Jo's just the epitome of a person that I have no confidence in ever doing well on Survivor.
Now get out of here. I'm calling.
I think there's no upside to her ever winning a game, and I think 99% of the time she's an early boot, and even in the time that she isn't, she's someone that gets dragged to the end, and probably doesn't win. So yeah. Oh fuck. Oh my god. There's so many of these in this game, isn't there?
You seem awfully deferent towards Keto-san. I mean, you won't even talk to me if the guy's not here. So why are you so afraid of him?
You think you're doing okay in your Survivor org? I think you're getting too complacent. Probably getting set up for a blind side.
As such, the director is being extremely cautious about leaks.
But I'm not here to talk
Yeah,
about
what else we got?
I need to know why Shintani.
Is Daniel Alexander the worst BB Can player? Possibly. I haven't. Again, I haven't actually thought through it. I think she would be. I think she would be in contention. Again, it feels weird to me not to have a first boot though. As as the worst player of all time.
I wanted to ask about Shintani's call.
But I feel like I'm more okay with saying that than for Big Brother, for a Big Brother season, or for Big Brother series than for a Survivor series.
We were just leaving.
Where I think with Survivor, if you survive a vote without immunity, you more than likely did something more right than someone that didn't.
Minister of Health?
While with Big Brother, there's just so much more variance in who's the first boot. Yeah, Nico would definitely be down there, right? Because he was going to be voted out anyway, even if he didn't quit. Mind you, I guess the situation that he was put into where he was nominated was also bad, because it was very twist related.
I feel like we came up empty-handed.
Yeah, and then you got you got Kat, who I don't think is the worst player. You got a Nick.
Huh?
It's not great, but not astronomically bad. Maybe Rosina, like but then Rosina at least had people that wanted to keep her, even in the week that she went home. Like she had like Andrew fighting for her to stay. Risha would be low.
We were talking about how the Kyorei clan ended up in Kamurocho.
He's like, she was going to be the boot anyway. Didn't seem to have a shot. But then again, also, like, the way she was nominated. Well, no, she was nominated from the... I mean, I guess that was less luck-based. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was almost a foot for Rosina, so I don't think she's the worst. Are you a better player than Wendy Jo? I would assume so. Again, like, I feel like... Yeah, probably. It's hard to be worse than Wendy Jo in my eyes. By the way, I did see that thread. There was a thread on Reddit a couple days ago. I don't remember if it was probably like 2 days ago or so, where someone asked like who is the worst player in Survivor history, and like almost every answer was someone that made it far into the game. It's like, and like the person that posted the question said Debbie is the worst player. It's like
expert can help us out with that.
Again, like to me, like my criteria would be I think if you're booted earlier, the more likely you are to be the worst. Even though again, like Survivor and Big Brother are games of like very high variance. And like, while technically we have more proof for people that make it further to say that they're a bad player, I do think just the like instance of them getting further into the game that one time that they played is enough proof for me that they're better than someone that didn't. And like, I get like people that don't have that as a criteria. Like I know, was it Taron Armstrong? Doesn't use that criteria. Like he's been open to saying Big D's one of the worst players ever. And I think obviously Big D's bad, but yeah, like Big D didn't even make my top 10 worst PBUS players. I actually did consider it though, but
I just got an email from Saori.
So I just think it's obviously different criteria.
A journalist named Hattori
but I do find some of the answers there kind of humorous.
It sounds like he's looking into Shintani Sensei's murder too. Anyway, I'll go ahead and
I'm trying to look up the
You'll be Genda Sensei's ace attorney before you know it.
The thing there. Here we go. Yeah, 2 days ago. Worst player ever.
Why?
Number one's David Sampson, which again, I get it. I don't think that's like out of the realm possibility.
Okay, but when that gets old,
Zane.
I don't know that it will.
Again, I get it. I don't agree necessarily. I get it. Billy Garcia. Again, get it. Garrett. Again, I don't think so, but again, I get it. But then, like, I think, like, where is it? Like, I guess some of the then we got Karen from, like, from Palau, which, I mean, I guess, like, it makes more sense than some other people that make it far, considering it never went to tribal, or went to one tribal before the, oh, fuck, we had to waste time. Does it? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to do that. But who's talking about? Karen. Yeah, again, like Karen at least survives like what, like 5 votes without being voted out. I thought there were worse answers than this, to be honest, at the top, because I guess like some of the ones at the top at least, like actually at least make like it makes sense to a degree. Like Lacey's on here, which I think Lacey is probably Lacey's a bad player. But again, like, at least Lacey was able to be in the majority alliance right away, which, again, there's a lot of other people that weren't able to. But Lacey's still really bad. Jeannie, someone mentioned Jeannie. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think Jeannie's good. Like, Jeannie, I don't remember where I put her on the player rankings so far, but I'm pretty sure she's, if not second to last, she's like third from last. She's pretty low. But I don't think she's the worst player. Zane again. Francesca for being the first boot twice. Philip Shepard. There we go. There we go with those sort of answers. BB. I'm surprised someone even bothered mentioning BB. Like, I don't disagree, but it's like with him being really bad. But Angela there from Ghost Islands. And stuff like that.
Huh?
Varner is on here. which again, completely get it from a person standpoint, but Varner's not the worst player in Survivor history. Same thing, like, I know Dan Spilo is mentioned on here at some point. Same thing. Again, terrible person, but not the worst player. Either way. What else we got? Rock Story is the worst Survivor player. Probably going to be. I mean, he doesn't even have a face. So, I mean, how could he be that good? What's worse, being high on Big D or being high on Heather in preseason? Probably high on Big. I'll be honest, like, I was high on both of them, wasn't I? Preseason, but I would say being high on Big D, because like Heather's not doesn't seem like a terrible player. Like, I don't think, like, we just don't know much about her. While like Big D, like, we actively know is a bad player, so I would say Big D is worse. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that like, again, like with Karen, that you can say is like a good move that she made, is her picking Willard, which, like, again, I'm still not 100% convinced that she actually did that strategically, or like at least for, like, I don't know if she did it like with the full strategic mind. I don't know. I don't know how to really explain it, but either way, it's like, but still, it's good enough, like, to make her not the worst. Well, I think of Purple Kelly as a player, not great, but not the worst ever. I mean, she's still someone that, like, again, was initially in the Majority Alliance, made it all the way to merge, survived a decent amount of tribals in the pre-merge. Like, even at the beginning of the merge, she was still in the Majority Alliance. It's not until the game flips on Brenda that she's left out of it. But then even after that, she wasn't going to be targeted anytime soon. Again, does she win the game? No, I don't think she wins the game against probably anyone. But yeah, I mean, she's not like the worst player in the world. As I feel like the worst players, worst players would like more actively get themselves out of the game. Genie's a bottom 30 player, possibly. I think there's a possibility of that. I haven't put the list together. Like, I would say more than, like, I mean, how many Survivor players? There's like 500, right? Something. Like, I doubt she's bottom 30, but I think bottom 100 for sure. Or probably like bottom 50-ish. I don't know. 608. Yeah, so I don't know if she's like bottom 30. Like, that seems quite a bit. Especially for someone that survived 4 tribals. Or survived 3 tribals. Yeah, 3 tribals. But yeah, I mean, still not great. I feel like Heather at least knows she's not the best player. Probably, right? Like, I don't know. Again, we just know nothing about Heather. So, yeah, it is weird that Xavier is younger than Big D. And really, Xavier's the youngest. I mean, outside of Hannah, he's the youngest Cookout member, right? Which is so weird to think. Like, it's weird to me that, like, Xavier's younger than Kyland. And, like, Xavier's, what, like, younger than Azza? Yeah, it feels weird. Oh, yeah, I know that Jay Batters had Purple Kelly as one of the worst players. Didn't he? Who do you have at number 1? I don't remember, but, like, I know he had Eric really high, right? Eric Reichenbach. Colton was on there too, right? Which, I mean, I think there's at least an argument for Colton. Like, I wouldn't agree. Was Colton number 1? Okay. Again, I wouldn't agree with Colton being number 1.
Hey.
But, like, I can at least see the argument there for Colton being the worst player ever. I think just the fact that he was able to, like, even though it was very lucky that he was given the idol to begin with, that allowed him to gain traction in the game, the fact that he was still able to use the idol to create a Majority Alliance that voted out Matt and then voted out Bill, and then after swap kept his Majority Alliance together to vote out Monica. It's like, it's still like enough for me. Like, he's not really close to the bottom for me. Yeah, probably not bottom 75. Like, he's still bad, though. Like, I don't think he's a good player in the grand scheme of things. But he's not, again, like, I guess we'll get into this whenever I do my, whenever I rank every Survivor player, which will probably be in, like, 4 years or whatever. But, yeah, I would guess he's, like, probably bordering on bottom 100 or so.
Huh?
But, yeah. Because, like, I mean, like, Ghost Island, like, I mean, not Ghost Island, what am I talking about? Blood vs. Water. Why did I think of Ghost Island? But Blood vs. Water, he was going to be the first boot from his tribe. And, like, there was no... I mean, but to be fair, like, he even survived he survived the other thing. What was it? He survived the Candace vote, like, that first initial vote. Mind you, that was partially due to pre-gaming. I mean, really, it's mostly due to pre-gaming. But, yeah, I mean, he technically survives a vote there, too. So, whatever. Is Francesca a worse player to play multiple times? Probably. I don't know. It's you do have like Russ Swan there, but I mean, Russ Swan had a good-ish first game. Like Francesca, like I think she has a pretty bad Redemption Island game. While she like demonstrates like a level of potential, like I do think the entire way that she handles Boston Rob there makes her an early target. She's obviously clearly on the bottom with Christina and Philip. She, yeah, I mean, like, I think she plays pretty poorly in Redemption Island, but demonstrates some potential. And then, like, we get to Caramoan where, like, I think there it was a lot more luck-based. And I do think she, like, showed some acumen. Again, she was able to, like, have 4 or I guess 3 people vote with her, and seemed to be like in the majority at least at the very beginning. But again, and eventually ends up flipping on her, and like it seemed like from like Dawn's, really Cochrane's point of view, like part of it was because it was funny to vote out Francesca first twice. So it's like I don't know. I think it's. I think there's definitely the argument for, yeah, she's probably worse to play multiple times. But I don't think she's, like, a terrible player in the grand scheme of things, though. Like, I think Francesca's probably higher. Is she higher than Colton? I think they're around the same ballpark, at least. Like, obviously Colton has more proof of him being a better player than Francesca, considering, again, he survived votes, he controlled votes. Francesca literally didn't have that. But I think Francesca has more potential on any given season than Colton would. Can I rank every Survivor UK player? I mean, I'm not going to do a video on it, I don't think. But I mean, I don't think it's that tough, right? I mean, number 1 was Richard, right? On UK Pulatika. So it's like, is Richard better or worse than, like, Johnny? I don't know, actually. Like, does Richard win at the end? Like, does Richard win, like, obviously Richard wins against Jackie, right? Does he win against Charlotte? It's like Charlotte gets 3... Actually, does Charlotte get 3 votes? Like, Charlotte has James and Andy for sure. I do think Pete probably goes Richard. And, like, where did the other ones go? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was no way that he was he wasn't taking Charlotte, but I'm talking about in the scenario where Charlotte took him, which also wasn't happening. But, like, let's just say there's a world where that happens. Yeah, like Johnny was definitely better positioned in the game, but I think was less active in the game. So I don't know. I think it's number 1's one of those two. I just don't know which one. But again, I'm ranking all. Like, it's just kind of arbitrary. I mean, and it's also not like no one gives a shit about Survivor UK, or like not enough people for me to actually take the time to make that video. The one secret scene of Heather indicates to me that she's a bad player. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that wasn't great. I do find it interesting that it wasn't on the show. I mean, again, like the fact that it is on the show indicates that like she's not important to this show or to the season. But it would have made her voting out Sydney make more sense, though. But whatever. Who I think is winning 41? I still think Tiffany. I think this was a pretty good episode for her, considering the fact that she voted incorrectly. Yeah, I think they deliberately shielded her in the edit here. I just, why was he speaking Japanese when I have the dub on? Whatever. I think there's a small chance Colton would have won Waterworld. Possibly? It's like, I don't know if he could win a jury vote. I think that's a tough thing. Like, if he, like, obviously if they come into the merge, the thing is, like, I do think Colton would have been one of the first few boots after the merge, personally. I mean, he did have an idol, so who knows how he plays that, but I do think the new Solani was going to stick together. And yeah, with that, it's like Colton would have been on the bottom, at least early on. If he's able to get to the end, it's like, again, can he get the votes to win? Like, I think it would have been tough, but again, like, it's not like a 0% chance, though. Yeah, if he's next to Christina and Alicia, then yeah, I mean, like, he could definitely get the men, the votes of the men there. Yeah, and then, like, then he can get, like, Sabrina and, like, even, like, Chelsea, I guess. Because obviously, like, they didn't really respect Christina, and then Alicia was also, like, Sabrina wasn't particularly close to Alicia. And yeah, Alicia and Kat was upset at Alicia, but then also I feel like Kat, by the end of that, like, was someone that was trying to respect gameplay. Like, as we see, like, her voting for Kim, despite her being angry at Kim. What am I doing? Oh, I'm still waiting? Oh, no, checking on Kaido. Well, where the fuck's Kaido? Oh, whatever. Is he in here? I don't know why I went back in here. He's not here. Did he play well? I think he played, like, it's like a weird situation where it's like, he did control certain votes, but I think he controlled certain votes because he got lucky with the fact that he was given an idol, which I think allowed him to gain some leverage around his tribe. Where, like, I do think he could have been a very easy first boot had that not happened. Mind you, again, like, that's all speculation. Like, for all we know, like, he still is able to get, like, these underdog men to get together, like Kim, Jonas, Tarzan, Troyzan, and Leaf, right? Those are the 5. But again, who knows? I get a frame picture of Kim as a luxury item. It is so weird. Like, I think looking back at Kat being on Blood vs. Water is just such a weird thing. Considering, I like, the thing is, like, a lot of people say that, like, like, Kat was only on there because they wanted Hayden. It's like, that's 100% not the case at all. I think, if anything, I think they wanted Kat. Like, I don't think they gave a shit about Hayden, personally. Like, because the thing is, like, Kat was supposed to be on there with her cousin Robbie initially. But then her cousin Robbie had to drop out, and they brought in Hayden as, like, the replacement. So it's like, 100% they did not, like, cast her for Hayden. I think they genuinely wanted Kat to come back. Do I want the Kat play again? Probably not. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like, if Kat were to come back, like, if they were to, like, get Kat back, it's like, fine. I just don't know what, like, All-Star season there would be that I would, like, rather have Kat back than, like, a whole bunch of other people. So, yeah, I just didn't think, Like, yeah, like I don't in a world where we had like 1 billion All-Star seasons, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Kat again, but it's not really something I'm like actively looking forward to. Brian Scally made a joke that Heather is so invisible she's snuck into the POC alliance undetected. Sure, I guess, yeah. I mean, who vote? Is it all POCs outside? Yeah, it is, isn't it? I didn't even realize that. Yeah, right. It is all because it's the 4 black people. Then you got Ricard. You got Erica. Heather, and then there's one more person, right? Maybe there isn't a, who's the other person? Nasir. Oh, no, Nasir, yeah. So, yeah, she's the only... Actually, that's kind of funny. I didn't even think about that, though. Yeah, she's the only non-person of color that voted out Sydney, or was part of the plan to vote out Sydney.
Really, guys?
If it's Blood vs. Water 3 with Robbie, why not? I mean, who cares? Like, for me, Blood vs. Water, like, if they're doing a Blood vs. Water, I really don't care who they cast in that situation. Like Blood vs. Water as a wait, where am I going? Like, is it through a car? Or is it through wait. What is this? Is that no, it's an exit thing. Alright, do I call him? Is that what I'm doing? Well, I haven't bought any skills. How many points do I have? Oh, I barely have enough points. Oh, that's kind of bullshit. Alright, whatever. What I think Liana's winner chances are? Now I think 0. I talked about this in mid-season power ranking. Like, she needs to play the idol, or she needs to play the Knowledge is Power successfully for her to have a chance at winning. And from an Edgic standpoint, again, like, I think the fact that she doesn't play successfully, I think is more than likely, like, I think it kind of nullifies her entire arc that was set up, where it was either that they're showing her as someone that's made mistakes already but is, like, going to rectify those, which she would do so by using her knowledge power correctly, or she is someone that is always going to continue to make mistakes and whatnot. And it's obviously now with the latter, so yeah, I don't think she's winning. The Blood vs. Water, should they have the Redemption Island? I personally think they should for pre-merge, at least. I've always been against post-merge Redemption Island, but I actually like pre-merge Redemption Island. Yeah, for me personally, I don't mind someone returning to the game as long as everyone knows about it. Or return to the game at the time of the merge, I should say. As long as everyone knows about it, and as long as that person doesn't end up winning. But I don't mind it as a way to change up the game dynamics at the time of the merge. Like, I do like this element of, like, the players in the game having to navigate around having this person return to the game. And having to deal with the ramifications of them voting them out in the pre-merge. But again, like, this is under the assumption that they know what's happening, which, again, like, in this situation they would. So yeah, like, overall, like, I don't mind Redemption Island personally. I think Redemption Island is better than Edge of Extinction. Mind you, it hogs up more screen time, or like, at least it has to hog up more screen time. But I still personally enjoy it more, especially as a game mechanic. Why did Tiffany and Evie turn on Liana? I'm pretty sure it's the other way around, right? Like, Liana turned on them. Where, like, Liana decided to side with Shan, Danny, and Deshawn over Evie. Mind you, I do think the situation was all forced by the entire twist. Where, like, I do think if it wasn't for Evie being the only available option, I don't think this would have happened in the way it did. At least not right now. But yeah, I mean, like, who would actually? Yeah, if this twist didn't happen, who would have been the merge boot? It would have been Erica, right? Like, at least they openly talked about voting out Erica.
Hey.
Like, why though? Because they knew that Liana turned on them. And why Liana turned? Because she wants to go with the Black People Alliance. I mean, and she's closer to, at this point, she seems closer to Shan. Which, by the way, that was also an interesting thing that, again, because I talked about this in mid-season power ranking, that we're only seeing the Shan-Liana relationship from Shan's point of view. This episode, we finally did get to hear Liana talk about how she is truly loyal to Shan, which is interesting in Liana's path moving forward. Because I actually thought, again, what I was thinking was going to happen was I thought Liana was going to turn on Shan. I don't think that's the case anymore. But I still don't think either of them are winning the game. But I do think they're going to be more tied together in the game moving forward than I thought they were going to be.
I've seen a vision. No one defies
yeah, I think Blood vs. Water is like the perfect type of season for Redemption Island. Like, it makes Redemption Island worth it even more. Again, like, the way that Redemption Island played out in the original Blood vs. Water was just, like, best possible scenario. At least, again, first half. Second half was boring, as it always is. I don't get why they continue doing it, though. Redemption Island post-merge. Like, it always just ends up being really fucking boring. I mean, I guess South Pacific's the exception.
It's inevitable.
But still. Do you think a woman is winning? Yeah. I mean, I've thought a woman was winning for a while. I think the only one that could win is Deshawn, and I don't think Deshawn's winning either.
Nah.
Alright, I think if Deshawn makes the end, like, I feel like he would win. Again, for him to be already looked at as, like, such a massive threat this early on, like, if he's able to get to the end, like, how are they not going to reward him with the win? But, again, I think more than likely a woman's going to win. Again, I think it's Tiffany. Imagine Laura rapping. I'm not talking about the person that comes back. I'm talking about, like, the entertainment along the way. Like, I'm talking about, like, Marissa and Candace being on Redemption Island and yelling out, "Fuck you, Brad Culpepper," and then Brad Culpepper getting voted out, and then all that stuff. Like, all the, like, drama with the loved ones being voted out, and the dynamics between the returning players having to deal with their loved ones being there, and how, like, some of their allies' loved ones caused the vote outs of the other people, like, all this sort of stuff. I think that stuff is great. Like, really, it's funny because, like, Blood vs. Water 2 was supposed to have Redemption Island, but then they cut it at the last second supposedly because Mike White told Jeff Probst, like, why are you bringing Redemption Island back? But again, like, I think San Juan del Sur probably would have been better if it had, or at least the pre-merge, again, would have been better if it had Redemption Island. Oh, who comes back if, I guess Drew Christie, right? Yeah, imagine Drew Christie getting voted out, comes back to the game at the merge. Oh, what a great season that would have been. He probably loses, like, the final duels. It probably would have been Kelly Wentworth or something, right? Yeah, I think it'd probably be Kelly Wentworth. Because, like, usually the final challenge is an endurance comp. And typically one that doesn't benefit bigger guys. Because, like, it's like, what, in Redemption Island, it was the, like, the comp that JT won, but, and I guess Matt Elrod won it, so I guess that could be okay for, like, I don't know, but Drew Christie's, like, a big guy, right? Like, how big is Drew Christie? Like, I feel like he's really tall, right, Drew Christie? Like, I feel like Alec is, like, kind of the better, like, body type for that, but I feel like Drew Christie seems a bit big there. Again, I feel like Kelly is more suited for that sort of challenge. But then we saw them do that challenge, and Kelly didn't do well, did she? In Edge of Extinction. Because that's the one that Lauren O'Connell fainted at, right? Either way, who fucking cares? I feel like I think Kelly probably has the better chance, actually, than Drew by the end of it. But it would be Kelly against her dad. I guess we'd also have to consider, like, what challenges are up to that point. And also, like, if we're doing like trolls or whatever they're called, like 3-person tools, because that'll change things up too. Do I accept? I don't know. I don't really want to do this. Has Legacy is going to be reward challenge? I mean, if that, I really think her legacy is going to be the fact that she was barely on the show. Like, I don't even think people are remembering the reward challenge thing anymore.
It's me.
Again, I really don't care about doing the side cases here. And to be honest, I barely care about playing the game at this point. Alright, how do I check in on Kaido? Like, where's Kaido? Yeah, if I say Lauren will call 3 times in the mirror, Bryce will appear. Probably. Try to look up how to check in on Kaido. Let's see. It's chapter 6, right? Where is Kaido? Oh, this really is a pain to find. Outside Tender? So, that was back where we were, right? Where's Tender? Shit. It's one of these, right? Club Sega, no. Where's Tender? There it is. Where the fuck did that marker go? Oh, it was right there. Wait, I'm so confused. Wait. No, that's the other way. God damn it. Do I want to see Josh on the challenge? Which Josh are we talking about? If we're talking about Josh Martinez, I feel like we've seen a lot of him on the challenge. By the way, that is what I did today outside of outside of watching Survivor and all that stuff. So I did record what I can to this point of my challenge review. Oh, Josh from VIP. Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. He definitely feels like someone that would fit the challenge. Again, like, he feels like a younger version of David, and like, if David was younger, I feel like even David now wouldn't be the worst thing in what am I doing? But yeah, even David now wouldn't be the worst thing on the challenge. So I think Josh would be fun. I don't know if he would, like, I mean, I guess they could get him, probably. Like, I mean, like, again, like, how big is he? Say probably won't go back to reality TV? That's a shame. Yeah, I'm surprised, I would guess that David's gonna be on the next season of, Big Brother VIP, right? Or, like, somewhat soon. Where am I going? Is he here? Fuck off. Okay, I guess I actually have to look this up again. He said he'd consider going on Survivor, though. Again, I feel like he would be a good pick for Survivor. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Yeah, like, he seems like fun. Again, he seems like a lesser version of David strategically. And probably one that doesn't, like, play it up for the camera as much, but it's still a fun character. Wait, where is that? Oh, he's on Tenkaichi Street. So he's, like, here. Okay. He has 361,000 followers. You'd think he would have more. Oh, there he is. How the fuck was I supposed to find? What kind of bullshit is that? Whatever.
Huh?
Yeah, he's like Luke and Dave. I mean, like, I think he is playing it up a bit, but like not as like he's not as over the top necessarily. Like as David. Like David is like very clearly playing it up for camera. I think he's like a bit more subtle with it. Yeah, Dreamcasting the challenge. I would love to do that. Again, I haven't actually like put on the schedule or anything, but I would definitely love to do that at some point. Yeah, that would actually be really interesting to do a Dreamcast of the challenge with like all these like different people. Like, because like who would I actually cast? Like if I were to do a Dreamcast myself, like who would I actually cast from? Like I'll do obviously Survivor, US, SA, Australia, maybe New Zealand. I mean, who from New Zealand could be on? I don't think there's anyone that great. I like Dave would be okay, but it's like I don't know if I need it. Yeah, Anthony will definitely make it. Anthony's like a lock for me. Realistically, see Rivals 4. Like do a Rivals 4 casting video. Probably, I don't think before 38, because from what I understand, 38's like about to film, right? Like pretty soon? Or is it next year? It's, I actually, now I think about it, I think it's early next year, right? I don't know. Either way, like it's kind of soon. So, probably not before, but maybe in the time after.
Kaito.
Yeah, again, the rest of this year is pretty locked in right now. The only thing in flux is when VIP is going to end, and that'll change like where a couple of videos end up actually coming out. But in terms of like what videos come out this year, I'm pretty locked in on what those will be. And like to be honest, like even early next year, like there's just so much going on that it's kind of tough to really fit in too much. Because like just early next year, I mean we still have Big Brother, or we have Big Brother, we have Challenge All Stars 2 still going on into more than likely into early next year. We then have Survivor 42, Celebrity Big Brother 3, Australian Survivor Blood vs. Water, BB Can 10. Like that's all early next year. Like what else we got? We got like all these like retrospectives that I really want to do for these anniversaries. These like final juror rankings I want to get out. Yeah, I mean there's already a lot, so I don't know. It's gonna be tough to really fit it in there, but we'll see. D from New Zealand, Nicaragua, definitely best person. Like she was like super bitter, right? Like wasn't she someone that like was talking about how production rigged the game against her or whatever? Yeah, she feels like you look her up. First thing that comes up is dejected superfan D says she was ripped off. So yeah, I mean that's something. After 17 years as a superfan, one contestant shot at being sole survivor was ruined in just 6 hours. So, yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, Josh was your first winner pick that you feel confident in. Who did I picked Luke, right? Kind of. I'll be honest, like, thank God I didn't change it, because if I were to change it, I would have changed it to Matt, which, that wouldn't have worked out. But, yeah, I picked Dave. I picked David. I picked Luke. We'll see how that goes. I don't think Luke's winning, personally, but it'll be cool to see it, though. Yeah, if Luke wins, like, this would be pretty incredible. You almost chose Omarosa? Like, I would have chose, like, I'm not surprised at all that Amoroso is the first boot. Like, to me, Amoroso is, like, the pretty, like, clear for, like, Amoroso or Thomas. Like, those would have been my top 2 people for first boot. The thing about Thomas, too, here, I, like, pretty much knew he wasn't going home this episode because he hadn't written the letter yet. Because, like, that had been the, main, thing that was advertised for him. Was that how he was gonna write a letter to Megan or whatever. And, like, he obviously hadn't done that yet. So it's like, obviously Matt was going home then. Wait, what am I doing now? Oh, fuck off. I didn't pay attention. Wait, why aren't these things showing up on the map? Yeah, like, so throughout this episode, like, I was pretty confident that Matt was going home over Thomas. Because of the letter thing. But then again, supposedly it's going to be in the next episode. So I think from that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Thomas is the next boot. It does seem like Thomas and Luke seem to have a thing going on. Where, like, Luke is, like, again, already tried, like, multiple times to have flips that, like, involve Thomas. So, like, I'm assuming that, like, Luke and Thomas must have, like, some sort of relationship. But, I mean... Like, he's probably going home soon. Like, I'll be surprised if Thomas makes it too far. What was I gonna look up? Oh yeah, where's the Adachi Estates? And why can't it just, like, show me where it is, so I don't have to pay attention? Where is this? Is that it? Okay. Oh wait, where is that? Oh, it's like all the way down here. Oh, it's like right where we fucking were. Whatever. Feel like, yeah. Luke, I think Luke, especially after this vote here, Luke's clearly, like, the front runner in terms of, like, game position. I do question if he's going to be able to hold it, especially long term. But yeah, it does look like Luke, Josh, and Danny to a degree. I mean, like, I don't know how to feel about Dan. Like, Danny clearly wants to work with Luke. I do question how much Luke really wants to work with Danny. Because the only times that we actually saw Luke talk about wanting to work with Danny were when he was in the DR with Danny. So I do question that, especially because, like, it does seem like he is actually loyal to Josh. So I'm not entirely sure of how long that will stick for, but probably short term at least they're going to work together. Fuck. Whatever. What the fuck is this? There we go. What do I think of Nina? Not good. I think pretty bad player. This is so fucking dumb. There we go. After Tifu, I think has the best chance. Probably Shan, but I don't feel like Shan has that good of a chance. Again, like, if we're talking pure Edgic, like, for me, Tiffany is, like, far and away number 1 to me. But Shan is number 2. If we're talking about in-game position, like, Deshaun would probably be number 1. But again, like, edgically, he's probably, like, number 3 or 4. I mean, like, realistically, none of these, like, I think it's, like, Tiffany probably has, like, 80% equity, Shan probably has, like, 20%, and I think everyone else is pretty much at 0. But can I express why she's a bad player? Because she was outside of she was voted out the first opportunity. She didn't really have any real allies. Like, I mean, how'd that vote play out? Like, Monica didn't vote for her, right? But I don't think they voted together, right? Like, I think they voted for 2 separate people. Like, she's not, like, the worst player ever, because, again, if I remember right, I do think her and Monica were close. Yeah, like, Monica voted for Christina, she voted for Kat. but it's like she's also someone that was like, again, voted out first opportunity. Kind of someone that like I don't really see her ever really doing well. Like she seems like part of this archetype that like would more than likely be an early boot every time she plays. Didn't seem to be overly strategic. Just Was Wendy Jo close to Holly though? I mean, like the thing is, like supposedly Wendy Jo wasn't even close to Holly, and that was just like made up for the show. Supposedly she was actually close to Eve, and that's why she votes for Eve. I mean, she thought she was close to Eve, I should say, because like she was actually like felt betrayed by Eve not voting with her, and like supposedly the Holly thing was like just like a nothing scene that they just like made into like a big deal to propel like Holly's edit in the show. Well, where like in reality, like supposedly like Wendy Jo didn't think she had a good relationship with Holly. Wait, I wonder where Danny goes. Felt like a merge boot. Yeah, I mean, like he seems like an early merge boot to me. The question is though, like, I mean, the thing is, like, I think a lot of people feel like an early merge boot. So it's like obviously all of them can't be an early merge boot. But again, I feel like Danny, Ricard, Evie, Nasir, they all feel like early merge boots to me. But like they all can't be early merge boots because by the time all four of them are gone, we're at like final 7. So it's like I don't know. But I suspect Danny's like again like from an in-game standpoint. It would make sense if Danny's gone within the next couple rounds. Again, like if a flip's gonna happen on this like Danny, Deshawn sort of group, I feel like they would go for Danny first. Even though obviously they went for Deshawn here, but again, like edgically, I feel like it doesn't make sense for Deshawn to go home right away. So I feel like they'll probably hit Danny instead. But and like I feel like his edit would support like an early merge boot. By the way, he got no confessionals this episode too, which also was kind of weird. Wait, how the fuck did they get here? Yeah, how the fuck did they get here? Was I like simply like really not paying attention? I don't even know how I got here. Whatever. Oh, yeah, that was so weird too. Yeah, the Tough as Nails promo where they mentioned Ricard. Like it's so weird. Yeah, Monica's playing the game for Monica as always. Where am I going then? Wait, how the fuck did I end up over here? I was like all the way down here, right? Wait, let's just look this up. So again, I don't know where I'm going. Where's the Adachi Estates? Whatever, we'll head back here. I could see the fucking marker on the thing. Oh wait, that is a marker, isn't it? I didn't even see that path there on the map. Whatever. Do I see Xander as an endgame player? Like probably, but not really because I actually see him as an endgame player. More so just because I see other people going out before him. Like I don't think they're like Xander. Like on paper should be like a boot pretty soon, but I don't feel like his downfall is being set up for a boot soon though. I feel like again like all those people I already mentioned like feel like they're going to be booted before Xander does, and at that point like what Xander would be like already towards the end game. But you know, it's like I don't know, it feels weird for Xander to get to the end and. I mean, I don't know, because it doesn't like for Xander to get to the end and not win. It's like it does make sense in the sense that again, like he's very young. I think it's tough to really like hand him the win there, especially like again him being like a cis white male on a season that like is like talked about like as being a very diverse season. I feel like that's gonna be a tough thing for the jury to do, but also just like I do still feel like it's gonna be a jury that will respect gameplay. It's like I don't know, whatever. Either way, I think he's probably in it for a while at this point. Again, where am I going? Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to look this up again. Like, where the fuck are the Adachi Estates? Again, why can't this game just tell me where the thing is? Come on. There we go. Let's see. Where is this thing? I don't even... Wait. A bit of time apparently passed, and you gotta check up on the address. It won't be marked on the map, but you should head over to the location indicated on his business card, Tenkaichi Street, Yoshikawa Building, floor 3. So Tenkaichi Street, that's this, right? So it's along this road. What building again? Yoshikawa Building, floor 3. Ugh. Whatever. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, this move like, I feel like if they're gonna vote on gameplay, I feel like this move alone is something that's very blatant to the jury on something that he can say is like a move he made in the game. What the fuck just happened there? Daniel Day Kim has been cast in the Avatar series. Seems interesting. Yeah, I don't know Avatar super well. So again, I don't personally know if that's like a good choice or not, but I really do want to like eventually watch all of Avatar and like Legend of Korra and that sort of stuff. I just never got around to it. Oh, main antagonist? Okay. That seems interesting. Again, like he usually plays like a good guy, right? I mean, like he's on Lost, he's like a more likable figure for the most part. And he's kind of a dick in the flashbacks, but anyway, mostly a likable figure. And then what else has he been? I mean, he was in like what, Hawaii 5-0. I'm pretty sure he was a good guy there. But anyway. When does Survivor New Zealand Season 1 get better? I would say this... I mean, really never. But, like, I guess the swap-ish? But not really, though. I mean, early merge is interesting. I mean, realistically, it doesn't get that much better. Like, to me, like, the first few rounds are, like, okay. And then swap, it's interesting at first, but then it probably goes on for a bit too long. And then, not necessarily, I think it's only like 2 rounds, but it feels like forever after that first round. But then merge, again, the first few rounds of merge are interesting, and then it's like kind of, after that. Who I think is Final 3? I don't know. I mean, again, if Tiffany's winning, like, I think Tiffany. I don't even, again, like, we just don't know, like, where the game's going right now. I think that's kind of the issue. Like, to us, I think Xander could be then. But it's like, it feels weird that they, like, based on where the current game position is now, that they would reward Tiffany over Xander. Where the fuck is this building? But who would be a third? I don't know. Because again, I don't think it's Liana. I don't think it's Shan. I don't think it's Abby. I don't think it's Nasir. I don't think it's...
Really, guys?
I don't know, who would she win against?
This again?
I mean, Heather? Are we saying like a Heather? Erica, maybe? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a possibility. Erica, Heather. I mean, Heather, again, like Heather, I think if she were to make it to the end, her edit would be bigger. Yeah, actually, Erica could be like a Dean sort of situation, right? But then again, Dean was more prominent even then in the pre-merge. Because, like, if you know, Dean was invisible the first episode, and then, like, afterwards was kind of shown as a doofus until the merge. I don't know. Okay, where the fuck is this building, though? It's ridiculous I still haven't found this. How far in stream are we, anyway? Holy shit, we're over 2 hours? I didn't realize we were that far in. I consider making a Patreon to edit both NZ seasons and Australian Survivor. I mean, Australian Survivor, I feel like it's kind of... I feel like it'll be tougher to do Australian Survivor. Because the problem with Australian Survivor is that it's like, it's kind of like, I don't know, I guess you probably could do it, but I do think it'll definitely be tougher than like SA Champions or New Zealand, where like those seasons legitimately just have scenes that you can just take out and it's just a better season. But I feel like with Australian Survivor, it's like you would have to completely restructure it. And I feel like you have to like rework how the confessionals are used and stuff, which I think to make it like a proper like re-edit, that I think would be a bit tougher.
What a waste.
Why does everyone love Australian Survivor more than Survivor US? I think because everyone's a lunatic. I mean, like, again, like it's different show. It's really just two radically different shows in my opinion. Like, I get why some people like Australian Survivor more. I don't agree with it. Like, I personally don't like it more. Like, it's a longer season, longer episodes. Theoretically, you get more time to get to know the people, but you don't, though, because it's Australian Survivor. Oh, is it this? Maybe? No, not this. It also feels weird, like, if Erica... I don't know if Erica, like, gets to the end, personally. Like, because, like, even though I think Erica is someone that could be beaten by, like, a Tiffany, like, I don't know if Erica will, because, like, Erica's, like, storyline right now is that how she's not a lamb anymore and she's a lion. And, like, I feel like that is, like, a lot of setup for, like, a journey edit that typically is someone that gets taken out, like, in the last couple rounds of the game. And also, I feel like it would kind of go against her entire arc if she were, like, to lose a jury vote. And saying that someone went 7 episodes and got 0 confessionals, I mean, yeah, that's Australian Survivor for you. It is funny, though, like, people, like, talk about, like, Australian Survivor, oh, you get to know the people more, when it's, like, literally, like, in the last few seasons. There's, like, so many people that just get completely buried in the edit, and even in earlier seasons, even, like, Australian Survivor 2017, it's like, who the fuck is Odette? Like, who the fuck is Kate? It's like, there's definitely people that still, like, you don't know anything about, despite all the screen time, or all the airtime that they have. I don't know where this building is. Well, I've literally been running around for whatever. Yeah, we got to know George quite well. We got to know Haley quite well. Yeah, again, who the fuck is Chelsea and Gerald? Yeah, Flick and AU, and then you got Sam and Championship Contenders 1, and also like Casey and Hannah. That was her name, right? Not Champions Contenders 1, Champions Contenders 2. Where the fuck is this building? It's supposed to be on Tenkaichi Street. So it's supposed to be here. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that Australian Survivor does nowadays, that they focus on, like probably 5 characters a season, and then really, really get you to know those characters, but then it kind of neglects almost everyone else. Jared reminded you of BB Can Dallas? I guess. I feel like, I don't know, Gerald in the preseason gave me more like Rupert-esque vibes. Just not Rupert. I guess maybe like a less strategic JT. But yeah. Okay, where the fuck am I going? It's not there. It says floor 3, right? I mean, should I check it for myself? Like, what is it in? Is it a case file? Wait, looks like I'm looking... Oh, check out tender. Oh. Wait, where's... Fuck... Okay. Where's tender again? It's like over here, right? Yeah. At least you remember Kate. Well, I mean, but you remember Kate for a reason that isn't even, like, actually because of Kate. It's because of AK making a comment about Kate. Yeah. Like, literally, I feel like Kate is, like, one of the most forgettable Australian Survivor people, to me. Where, like, Kate's not even memorable as a, like, non-memorable person. Like, she's just, like, there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. I think this is it.
Huh?
I really don't care about this. Crazy that Simon and Shannon were pre-merged. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely did not expect them to go there. Like, I mean, Simon, like, I really thought was going to be the merge boot. And if not the merge boot, then, like, maybe the boot immediately after the merge.
Hello?
Definitely was surprised to see him get voted out right before the merge. And then, like, Shannon also, like, I really thought Shannon was going to beat Simon. Like, I thought that's where that story was going. But for the opposite to happen was a surprise. Kate to AK is like Mitch to George. Is it though? Like, I feel like at least like Mitch had a big premiere. Like Kate had a big nothing. Like she wasn't even there until like her final episode, where even there she wasn't a major character. Like that episode was like mostly about Tessa and Tarzan. Why is he just back in the middle of the street again? Whatever.
Nope.
Why'd Sam get 0 confessionals? Just because she didn't seem that important. And I guess, I don't know. I think I was like, realistically, I don't know why she was 0. Like, got 0. Like, that does seem kind of weird. But because you would think they would give her like a confession or something on the way out, but I guess we need to hear what Andy thought and what David and Luke thought. So, wait, was that even the Andy vote? No, Andy was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Andy was around, right? Mm-hmm. I don't fucking remember anymore. Yeah, they were around. Yeah, because Andy was involved in the next vote, right? I'm looking this up real quick. I actually don't even remember how that vote played out. Like, I remember it was like a close vote, but who voted with Sam? Did Andy vote with Sam? No, right? Oh no, Andy voted out Luke. Okay, yeah, so Andy wasn't in. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so Andy wasn't in on it. So it was Daisy, John, and Baden that flipped. Yeah, that was the Sean. Like after Sean went on their tribe, that's when Andy tried to flip things. Either way, yeah, I've seen Russell's getting in a lot of trouble with his opinions on Survivor 41. So that's something. What's his video at? I'm sure his video has like way more views than mine does. Let's look up Russell Hantz. It's only 10,000. I mean, he has more than mine, but it's like considering he has like 4 times the subscribers. You'd expect it to be more. He has a fucking shirt that says "Make Survivor Great Again." Like, what the fuck are we doing? Again, like Russell Hantz, I feel like he makes like the way he runs his YouTube channel is the exact way I don't want to run my YouTube channel. Like his fucking title is Survivor 41 Preview, Blacks versus Whites. Is this what's coming? It's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Then, sorry, but this is the truth. You've been bamboozled. That's the name of his previous video. Is Russell Hantz unsubscribed for me? I actually don't even know. Not that I really even care. But I know he was subscribed to me at one point. But, yeah, it looks like he did unsubscribe to me. What a shame. Whatever. Yeah, like he wanted to collab at one point, and I just didn't get back to him. Yeah, I didn't know that he was anti the camp out. Yeah, I did see that. Like, I know Wendell has been posting things talking about being upset at Russell. I think Russ Swan too, right? Russ Swan, I saw that too. That Russ Swan posted that I've always thought that I would have voted for Russell to win at the end, but now I see why he didn't win, which is like, I mean, I think that sounds kind of ridiculous, realistically. But yeah, I mean, again, like I'm pretty sure like the signs were there beforehand. Like this is not the like 100%. Like this is not the point where, like how is this the point I should say where you've now realized that Russell Hantz is a flawed player. Still got Jay Vatters. Again, like I'm not gonna like straight. Like I've said something. I have no interest in collabing with other YouTubers or whatever. Like I just don't have an interest. Nor do I really like want to put the time into it. Like I really just don't want to bother. Which is a lot of the reason why I do feel like I am like kind of like outside of like the main Survivor YouTuber sphere, where you got like Peridium, Once Upon an Island, Idled Out, and like some of these other smaller ones, like was it Analytical Strategy, I know Reality Pop, is that the name of that podcast? Anyway, like I know they like like that grouping of YouTubers like collab here and there. I mean, obviously Once Upon an Island's whatever nowadays, but I know they collab here and there, but I personally don't really have much of an interest in doing so. Yeah, that's why I remember. I remember I did see that. Like Reality Pop did a podcast with a lot of those people. Yeah, let's see. How does that happen? I'm looking at this Reality Pop. Their latest... Oh, I guess it's just like a clip of the week thing. Okay. But either way, like they have a video from 4 days ago that only got 31 views. Yeah, like how do they do a Survivor 41 podcast and only get 40 views on it? And then a recap with 143. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the thing is, like, like if I were to do weekly videos on like every Survivor episode, do a power ranking on every Survivor video, I know the channel would do very well from that. Like I know I would and I would probably make a decent amount of money, and I would probably be closer to where I could probably make a living off of it. But it's like I just don't want to. Like I really just don't want to bother making like 2-3 videos a week on every like Survivor episode and stuff. It's like I'm just not gonna fucking do it. What am I doing here? Oh, I have to put on the thing again. Again, like I want to run YouTube my way, and it's like, again, this is like a narcissistic way of thinking of it. But it's like if I'm not able to run YouTube my way, then I don't want to do it. Like essentially, like it's like I really don't care enough to do YouTube really outside of the way that I'm currently running it. I should go on RGP. I mean, I feel like of all those things, that would be the thing I'm more apt to do, but like I don't think they really want me.
What?
And to be fair, I haven't like put the effort into like if I really wanted to, like I'm sure I could have like reached out to some people from RGP, gotten to know them, like then eventually could get invited to a podcast. But again, like because I know that like Mike Bloom and like on the RGP B&B, I know they've invited Once Upon an Island and Peridium on there, and like some other like random people like that. It's like again, like could I be one of those people? Possibly, but again, don't really want to put the effort into it. I did see that RHAP, they're doing like this big Patreon trivia game, which I really would like to do. Like I'm not even a patron to RHAP anymore, and I haven't been for years, but I would actually be interested in like doing that. The problem is that I work that day, so I won't be able to do it anyway. But if I wasn't working, I feel like that's definitely something I would like to do. Do like a massive trivia game on Survivor, because I do feel like I would do very well. I do feel like I feel like in terms of like random Survivor trivia, I'm probably one of the. I mean, obviously, like there are things I don't remember when talking on these streams, but I do feel like in general, I am probably one of the better people out there in terms of Survivor trivia. But like there's like many times where like listening to like This Week in Survivor History or whatever, that like there's a question like I know the answer, like when like the person doesn't know it. Like I feel like I feel like I would do very well in Survivor trivia, but whatever. Have I listened to Mark Zuckerberg? Not really. I have watched the Social Network. Does that count? So I've listened to actually, I don't even think I don't even know if I can tell you like what Mark Zuckerberg's voice sounds like the real Mark Zuckerberg.
Yo. Huh?
See, I did see that this is a short chapter, so I definitely want to finish this before we end stream. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going here. Tomorrow might be a busy day for me. I shouldn't say busy. Like it's busy on my, like I work, but then also like I might do Assassin's Creed speedrun tomorrow night. We'll see. And then if in an ideal world, well, I have to run a couple errands, and then also like in an ideal world, I would like to finish Life is Strange: True Colors tomorrow, because I'm at episode 5 now. But don't know if I'll have time. But either way, can you? What is that? Episodes of year. Now I don't know. What rank every episode of the year? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. Yeah, like in general at this point with Survivor podcasts, like I don't listen to much. Like I listened to RHEP. I listened to Know It Alls. Actually, I listened to Know It Alls right before I started streaming. And then,
Huh?
yeah, I mean, what else do I listen to at this point? Like, I did listen to the Rick Devens recap from this last week from RHAP, and I listened to Taron Armstrong's Stockwatch podcast. But I think that's it for Survivor nowadays. And even the Rick Devens one was like an extra one that I normally do. Like I typically wouldn't.
Kaito.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And like ranking every episode, like I feel like that's a lot. Like I unless we're talking about like, are we talking about like just rank every Survivor episode, like Survivor 41 episode? Then like that's kind of easy. Like I've done it in the past. Like well, I feel like for this season, I think this was probably the best episode. I feel like this is one, then probably the premiere. I don't know, is the premiere in episode 3. I feel like those are 2 and 3. I don't know exactly which one's better. Like episode 3 is like a great like single episode. Like it's one that isn't that important to the grand scheme of the show, but it's like a really fun character piece for Brad. Again, like when we're adding Australian Survivor Brains vs. Brawn, like 24 episodes there, and then like what? Even South Africa had like what 18 episodes. Again, like that's a lot. Like I don't know if that's really worth doing. Again, I will be doing the 2021 year reality TV at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Ranking every season of reality TV, but I'm not going to do every episode. Like that's just kind of a lot for very little benefit, especially when like I personally don't care either. Like it's like again, if it's something that like I knew would like for sure get like great views and stuff, then like maybe. But it's like I personally don't care about doing it, and like I also don't think many people will watch it either. Like I think it would like at best get like 3,000 views. So it's like I don't think there's that much benefit to actually doing a video on that. Again, ranking every Survivor 41 episode, like that's more realistic than ranking every episode of Survivor across the entire year. That's something I've thought about doing just in general, is ranking every episode of a season. What the fuck was that? Why don't I remember that? I don't remember ever fighting Kaito. What the fuck is this? This looks ridiculous. I'm too far. I guess that's this entire engine. Get Claire on Survivor? Yeah, it would be fun. I don't think it's happening. Like, I doubt she would be the person that they would pick, the transition. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Yeah, I mean, she's a bigger Survivor fan than she's a Big Brother fan. And yeah, she was great on the podcast with Taron. Fuck. Top 10 or top 15? I mean, again, like I'm definitely, like 100%. I'm not doing a video on this. Like, not worth it. So please, just not worth. I could talk about it on stream, but I'm not doing an individual video on it. And like, even offhand, like it's kind of just tough to say. I mean, like I think the best episode of SA was probably the merge episode. Probably the best episode of Australian Survivor was also the merge episode. Then, like again, this season's probably also the merge episode so far. Yeah, I don't know which one's the best episode of the 3 either. So, are you the only person that finds Claire boring? Probably not. I'm sure a lot of people find Claire boring. Like, to me, Claire's fine. Like, I don't think she's, like, the most riveting TV, but she's not, like, boring TV either. But I do think she's someone that, like, gets the game from a strategic lens. maybe isn't able to execute all the time, but like at least gets the game, and I think that alone makes her someone that would be an interesting player on any given season. I really don't. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna skip this. Fuck this. Don't care. Okay, there's more. Yeah, TX specs differ. Where's the Zero Australian Survivor rank? I'm like, yeah. Did I talk about this? Like, for Australian Survivor, like, it's in the top tier, but I don't know exactly where still. So it's like, it's top 3, but really any of those 3 could be number 1, and I really don't know which way to go. Because it's Australian Survivor 2017, Championship Contenders, and then this one. Like, all have, like very different pros and cons. Do I think Australian Survivor will ever do 3 seasons a year? No. I think they'll do 2, though. Like, I mean, I'm assuming next year's going to be 2. But yeah, I doubt they'll do 3 unless the third one's like a celebrity version. But I don't think they'll do 3 civilian. And even now, they're not even doing a civilian version. But yeah, I don't think they'll do like 3 standard like seasons of Australian Survivor.
Hey.
What's better, SA or AU? I think SA. It's not even close. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, essentially all of them are celebrity versions. So I guess, like, because, like, what I was thinking is, like, with obviously Big Brother VIP, that being, like, kind of like a separate show in degree to Big Brother AU. And I could see them doing, like, that sort of thing where, like, a shorter season, smaller cast, like, as, like, an extra season. But, like, realistically, they're all kind of celebrity seasons, so.
Doc.
Oh my god, I really don't fucking care.
Yagami-san, it's Sugiura. Want to meet up and talk?
Should that be the special season? Like, have one season with actual real people, and that'll be the special season? What's better, SA or BB-Can 9? If we're talking about this season of SA, then... Or, like, if we're talking about SA versus BB-Can as series, I think... I would probably... I mean, actually, BB-Can's probably... No, I would say SA is probably the answer. But if we're talking about this season of SA versus BB-Can 9, I think BB-Can 9's better. Yeah, I think BB-Can 9's going to be number 1 on my year in reality TV ranking. But, yeah, we'll see how 41 plays out. 41 could still technically beat it, but I kind of doubt it will. Again, the movement in this game is so fucking ridiculous. Them just, like, running everywhere. I'm too fair, that's Yakuza in general. Where's BB VIP so far? Again, we're so early on. Like, it's not really
Got it.
fair to really say, but, like, I if I were to guess, I would say it's going to be better than AU. Than this, like, latest season of BBAU, at least. Just, like, I don't know, it's probably still worse than all 3, it's definitely worse than all 3 Survivor seasons. Probably worse than... it's for sure worse than BB-Can 9, obviously. BB23, it's probably worse. What am I doing? I'm not even paying attention. Oh, what? Was I not supposed to go here? Wait, was I just supposed to go to the entrance? Oh, I'm supposed to talk to him. Oh, fuck me. Whatever.
You got here faster than I thought you would, Yagami-san.
Well, how'd it go? Find anything between Kajihira and Kazumi?
You know what would make 41 better? I'm guessing Lauren O'Connell, I would guess. But
you know that meeting they had?
Who knows?
Turns out it was about the ADDC.
What?
For years now, the Kajihira Group has been secretly planning an absolutely massive redevelopment project.
Just trying to think. Is there anything else I didn't talk about? Oh yeah, that's something I mean, most people don't fucking care, but I still want to talk about. So last stream, Assassin's Creed Origins speedruns, I did get a new PB, and I moved up a spot on the leaderboard, just for me to get bumped down immediately afterwards. That's such bullshit. Like, I was 7th place, I got bumped up to 6th place, then like literally within an hour after my run got verified, another run knocked me back down to 7th place.
That explains
and it's like way faster than I can do, so it's like my best possible scenario at this point is 6th place. So that's kind of annoying. I mean, if I get 6th place, then I'm still going to be the like #1 American. Not that that means really anything, but still, really just annoying at this point that my best case scenario is 6th place. Like, that's kind of pathetic. But I'll still probably try to go for it, especially because I fucking had it last time. So I lost 3 minutes in the final fucking split. Yeah, BBK 9's like top tier reality TV season of all time. I think the actual televised product could still use some work, but I still think it's good enough that it's still definitely a top tier season.
I'm sure it was enough to cover the damage. A big old bribe, basically. On top of that,
new Jackbox Party Pack drop. I've never played those. I have watched like, I think it was Taron Armstrong stream some of those with Kevin and Bruno. Like, I've watched those streams, but I've actually never watched or I never played it personally. But I mean, they just seem like fun party games.
Yep, but as luck would have it, it just wasn't meant to be. One day,
what's better, Kagiyan or BB10? Kagiyan for me.
Something happened preventing the ADDC from closing. It's all thanks to this guy.
Keto and his 89 research.
Yeah.
But,
you don't just
what editing tricks that Genius does? Does a lot of flashbacks, does a lot. I mean, really, like, a lot of what Survivor is currently doing is what the Genius does on the regular, and does it better. But, again, like, a lot of, like, having, like, especially this, like, Xander reveal today, of, like, him talking about how it's a fake idol, and then we get the flashback. Like, that's something that would happen on the Genius regularly. Like, you're expected that, like, the way a show is shown, you're expecting a certain outcome to happen. The opposite happens, and then they flash back to show you how that happened. Like, that's the sort of thing that happens all the time.
What? It's not that impressive. It was all published online last year. It was a pretty gripping article, but they couldn't substantiate.
Yeah, so tomorrow, again, like, if I'm not really fucking tired,
I think they might have been right.
I'll try to do an Assassin's Creed Origins speedrun and try to get that 6th place time. And after that, I'll move on from Origins.
You know him?
So I don't think I can do much better.
Apparently, he stormed Genda's office
than that.
for an interview.
Huh? Doesn't that mean you can ask him yourself? You better get a move on.
I guess I'll have to.
What else they do? I mean, it's a lot of, like, there's a lot of, like, inside jokes that are shown on screen. It's a lot of, like, it's like kind of Korean. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched Korean TV. I assume not. But it's like, just, it's presented in a very, like, Asian way, if you will. That also, the soundtrack's really good, mainly because they're not limited by copyright laws, because Korea is Korea. And that's something that also boons the show. So there's a lot of licensed music that's used. Okay. Do I have facial hair? Kind of. I mean, like, like I'm kind of just a lazy bastard, and it's like I don't typically actually have facial hair, but like I usually like let it grow for like a week and then shave or whatever. There's one time where, I mean, I guess not one time, but there's like a few times where I just like let it go for like a month or so, but like realistically, it's like not really. Like I don't personally actually try to like have like a full beard or anything.
Oh, hey, Yagami-san.
Like if I do, it's mostly just out of laziness.
No, he actually left a while ago.
Have I used Letterbox? No, I have not.
You really did scare him off then, huh?
More like he couldn't handle Saori-san staring into his soul.
Like what is? Like I've heard of it, but I don't actually know exactly what it is. Social platform for sharing your oh, is that the one that Okay. Yeah, I've definitely heard of it, but yeah, I've never used it.
I came to offer condolences for Shintani-sensei.
That's not the only reason. Tell Yagami-san straight.
See, that's a thing for like film, right? Yeah, again, like I've like to catalog like all the movies I've watched, I usually use like I've used IMDb, but I wouldn't be surprised like Letterboxd is like a better version of that.
Something you needed to say?
But to be honest, like it's also like I don't really care anymore at this point. Like me, like I still do rate every movie I've watched on IMDb, but like I don't actually like look at it anymore outside of that.
Detective by the name of Kuroiwa said I was
which like I used to, like if this was like 5 years ago, I would have actually like really cared about what I rated everything, but like now I don't.
Just to be sure, you didn't do it, did you?
Me? Kill Shintani?
Yes.
Of course I didn't. How could you even ask?
I'm a prosecutor, remember? Doubting people is my job.
So, why is Izumida suspecting me? Does he even have anything to go on?
I'm not sure.
I am close to finishing Life is Strange 2 Colors,
I think.
which
Even Morita-san
I've been really enjoying
They really don't
at this point.
I don't think they can charge you with on the grounds.
Like it's like in there's so many similarities to the original Life is Strange within it that I do really like.
I'm glad you didn't kill anyone.
Like to me, it's still not as like it is technically. I think it's technically better, but like I don't enjoy it as much as the original Life is Strange.
Thanks, Mafuyu.
But it's still like far and away better than the other Life is Strange games. To me. Is it a good game position to be where you're in a 5-person group in between the middle two duos? Not really. I mean, like, it is good for short term, but not for long term. Because, again, this is like kind of the position that Kathy was in Marquesas, where essentially if you go to the final 5 with that group, you're essentially fucked. Well, actually, no, because, like, now we have a final 3, because I'm assuming this is a final 2. But if you have a final 3, it's fine. That's actually probably it's actually a really good position, I feel like, if you're in a final 3 season. But on a final 2 season, it's a terrible position, because that means you're essentially forced to win final immunity, and if you don't, you're fucked. And pretty much in most scenarios where you try to flip the game, by doing so, you become a threat by flipping the game in a way that benefits. Like, because, like, essentially what Kathy does is at Final 4, she flips over to Vesepia, gets Vesepia to tie the vote. They get rid of Pascal, but then through that makes Kathy the biggest threat at the next vote anyway, and she gets voted out anyway. Yeah, like either way, you're at the bottom. But if it's a Final 3 game, like a game that ends with a Final 3, like it's fine. Because that would mean that you're still in a spot to get to the end. Mind you, if the other person there wins immunity at Final 4, you're banking on that person voting with you at Final 4 to cause a tie. But then would that even be in their best interest at that point?
I didn't know her name. She's pretty, though.
Wait, does that mean you've been following me?
Which is why Natalie, like essentially that happens no matter what if you go with a duo to Final 4, which is why Natalie Anderson and San Juan del Sur gets rid of Baylor at Final 5 so that she doesn't have to deal with that situation. Where she essentially guarantees herself getting the Final 3. But,
You coming, Yagami-san? Where are you?
But again, like, if you're talking about, like, you're at the final 20, like, again, yes, it's a good position, but I would say, like, you gotta, I don't know if you gotta flip, but, like, definitely, I would definitely make a move towards the end of the game, though. But, like, short term, you should be good. But then, I mean, there's probably still scenarios, especially if you're swapping every round. There's probably still scenarios where, it's like, yeah, either way, you're, like, at the bottom of whatever other duo there is, power structure, so you could, like, get screwed over by a swap to where they might be willing to let you go.
I haven't figured that out. Better just to get.
Or, like, I feel like if you're in a like game where you're having a swap every round, it is probably better just to be in general good with everyone.
You're Yagami, yeah?
I don't have time.
More so than being in a, like, very solid power structure.
We got an appointment with the lady prosecutor, you see.
What?
You heard me, asshole. Now step the fuck back, or else!
This guy does not sound like a character that should be in Yakuza. Ah, fuck, I keep on doing that. Whatever. Inner tribe, final 20, 5-person tribe. There's a duo of people who are partners because of Blood vs. Water twist. I'm really tight with that duo. I mean, again, if you're swapping every round, then it's fine.
Who are you?
But, like, if you're in the end game with,
Don't think we're giving up that easy.
with, like, 2 duos, then you're maybe not in the best position at that point.
I'm kind of bummed you started the party without me, man. I'm raring to go.
Do I think that Survivor UK Panama is the most consistent Survivor season? Possibly, in the sense that it's consistently bad, but yeah. I think there's a debate for being the most consistent season of the show.
See ya.
I get it. You guys are tailing Mafuyu-chan. I can't exactly let that kind of shit slide, assholes.
I do find it funny that my Death Stranding video did worse than my Yakuza video somehow. Not that I expected to do well, but I definitely did expect it to do better than my Yakuza. I mean, to be fair, it's doing better than all my Yakuza videos outside the last one that just came out, but still, whatever.
Street now. Her and, I don't know if I can take him on my own.
Got it. I'm turning onto Nakamichi Street now.
Hurry, okay?
List you've seen on Letterboxd definitely better to look at than IMDb. I'm sure it is. Again, like, IMDb is very,
Like the Yakuza are onto you.
pretty bare bones in terms of cataloging films and stuff like that.
Got it. Keep an eye on Mafuyu for me.
So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll finish this chapter and then we'll call it a day. I don't know how much more we have of it. I think we'll try to finish it. I mean, like, to be fair, if we're not done, like, within the next, like, either way, I probably want to end stream in the next, like, 30 minutes or so. But, hopefully we can finish the chapter before that. Who would I vote for, Nicole or Rob? I would probably vote for Rob.
Yeah, so was I. Right.
Yeah. For this round, you're in a really solid spot. Yeah, like, especially in a game where you're swapping every round, you're in a good spot. Like, if you weren't swapping, I would say you're, like, not in a, like, you're in potential danger in the next round. But either way, like, you would still be fine for this round. The only thing you have to worry about is the other two duos coming together to vote you out. But outside of that, you're more than likely safe. Again, it's very unlikely that if there's two duos that, like, the only way they would be able to get you out is if they got one, is either the two duos come together, or if they get one person from the other duo to side with them, which also seems very unlikely. So essentially, it's like, again, you just have to make sure the other two duos don't come together. Yeah, I think at this point, I think I'm pretty secure in the fact that I think I'm gonna just, like, not go as in depth in my Judgment video, and, like, mix this with my Lost Judgment video, probably. I don't know, I guess I'll have to wait until I play Lost Judgment and just see how that goes, but I feel like, I just don't even really feel the need to, like, go through the ins and outs of this game's story like I did for all the other Yakuza games. Okay, come on. Alright. Yeah, so again, probably gonna unstream relatively soon. Tomorrow, maybe do Assassin's Creed Origins at night, but even then, I'm not like 100% locked in on that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much gonna be busy all day Friday, so yeah, I normally don't stream anyway, but
not a clue.
Definitely won't stream there.
I'm only here because a friend tipped me off. Help too.
Yeah, so I mean, next stream, if I don't stream tomorrow, next stream will be on Sunday, and either way, like, next stream that most people care about will be on Sunday, where I will stream more Judgments, but I will be talking to the chat and everything. Actually, nothing's gonna even happen. I just realized that, yeah, nothing's even gonna happen, right? Yeah, because Big Brother VIP won't even be until Monday. Right? Actually, I haven't actually made sure. Big Brother VIP is not back until Monday, right?
Hello, Izumida-san? This is Fuji.
I'm assuming it is.
Oh yeah, Yagami-san. Those Yakuza or Kyorei? I recognized a few of them from KJR.
Why would the Kyorei go after Mafuyu?
Might be better off asking them that in person. Think you can head over now?
No.
Well, I just realized Matt was voted out the very next day after
I'll be fine. Don't worry. Izumida-san
after Amarosa.
Officers over for me.
I didn't realize that was like literally one day
The Kyorei clan is a
between the two.
group, yes? They're the ones who were harassing me?
Looks like.
By the way, I was surprised that we got 3 episodes this week for Big Brother VIP. I was assuming we were only going to get 2. Which makes me question, like, I still don't know the episode count, because I thought I heard somewhere that was 10, but I think now I'm hearing that it's 12. Which 12 would make more sense based on like 3 episodes a week.
Still a little fresh.
But still, don't exactly know the schedule.
I saw them hit you earlier. Are you hurt?
No.
I'm gonna make sure this never happens again.
Oh my god, I really don't care. How long is this?
You can't. That's not safe. Don't worry about me, okay? I'll stay.
Who's that voice actress?
For a while.
I know that voice. Who the fuck is that?
Lay low for a while.
I know that voice. Is that someone from Persona?
You gonna be okay?
I'm looking this up.
I'm sorry, but I can't leave now. Not yet.
Why, though?
It looks like the killer we're after now.
What's her name? I don't even remember her name. God damn it.
That would mean...
Is it Makoto? Okay, yeah. Now I know. Yeah. I was thinking, like, okay, this is either Makoto or On, and I couldn't exactly remember which one. Yeah, so it's Kermani Lee or whatever her name is.
The same Shono who testified against Okubo in the trial.
That's all you have?
There it is. Yep, there we go.
I'm still trying to piece
Fuyu,
together.
yeah.
But I have to keep going until this puzzle is solved.
You know, it's
thoughts on Chenbot's Mount Rushmore? What was her Mount Rushmore? I don't remember. I remember it was weird. Like I remember she. Oh yeah, it was all the people that won with unanimous votes, right?
Maybe I am. See you later.
Yeah, again. What the fuck?
Hello?
Hey, it's Yagami. I'm free now. Where are you?
It is weird though how a lot of these Japanese games just reuse the same voice actors, and they don't change their voices. Literally just the same voice every fucking time. Actually, I'm looking this up. A whole bunch of fucking Persona voice actors are in this game. Holy shit! I'm looking at this now. Like you got fucking Robbie Draymond or Damon. Is it Damon? I always thought it was Draymond. Whatever. Who plays what? Ketchy, right? You got Matthew Mercer, who plays Yusuke. You got Max Middleman, who plays Ryuji. You got Cassandra Lee Morris, who plays Morgana. Yeah, you got Jameson Price, who plays Sejiro. I think that's it, but either way, that's a decent amount. How much more of Chapter 6 do I have? I'm trying to look this up real quick. Because if we're, like, close, then I think we are close-ish. We still have a lot, though. Like, what do we have? Like, that's like, what, 15 minutes worth? I'm looking at my last playthrough. Yeah, I mean, we have, like, 30 minutes left. Oh, is that a thing, too? Matthew Mercer was Majima? That sounds weird. Ons VA was some random hostess. I think that makes sense. I forgot, what was her name? I don't remember her name anymore. What's her name? I'm kind of scared to look up on Takamaki because I feel like it's definitely fuck me. First thing that comes up is age when you look her up on Google. Fuck, what's her name? There we go, Erica Harlacher. Why is her voice actress look different in like every fucking picture you see of her? But whatever. Oh, is she in Digimon Adventure? Anyone? Oh, she plays Kairi in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I thought she played like a more major character. I really don't care.
Suspicious.
Yeah, I get the point. Okay. What am I looking for? Brown hair, glasses. The guy's wearing a mask. It's pre-COVID.
Hey.
Is that guy have glasses? Oh yeah, that's him. Alright. Cool. She dyes her hair and cosplays a lot. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Are AEW and Survivor renewed? Survivor's definitely renewed. 42 is for sure happening, and then like you can assume 43 and 44 are happening. But it's not like Survivor SA. I don't think SA is renewed right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it eventually gets renewed, but it's as of right now not. AEW's like not officially renewed, however they are casting for next season, so that's probably a good sign that it's going to be renewed. I think Russell Hansen's show will be canceled at some point. I mean, I mean, he has probably already been, like, canceled by social media, right? So, matters what you mean by cancel. If we're talking about, like, social media sort of canceled, then yeah, I think it's already happened. Fuck off. How are you seeing me from here? I guess it's not that unreasonable. You know, I think what we'll do, I think we'll finish this tailing mission, and I think we'll call it a day. I'm pretty tired at this point. And again, we still have like 30 minutes till the end of this chapter, and I don't really want to go into 30 minutes. Oh, you mean like completely getting taken off? No, I don't think that. I mean, like, you never know. I mean, but I doubt he would, like, actually get taken off of YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Robbie Damon definitely would have fit. Oh, fuck, I'm not even paying attention to the game. Would definitely fit Majima more. I mean, especially, like, it's so weird because, like, Matthew Mercer, like, as Yusuke is, like, radically different from what you would expect Majima to sound like. But, like, I feel like Akechi, like, especially, like, crazy Akechi feels more in line. Yeah, I think at some point I will play, like, a dragon on here. Because I do have the PS5 version now, so it's like I might as well play it at some point. And like I also kind of want to play it with the dub just to see how like weird it is because I've never played it with the dub. Yeah, I don't know when that will be, but I wouldn't be opposed to doing that at some point. Again, like, really all the games I have on PS5, that I have like the PS5 versions of, I should say. Now that I've played in the past, like I wouldn't mind streaming at some point, just to be able to play the PS5 versions. Yeah, I really want to replay A Plague Tale, the PS5 version. Which I think we might do that somewhat soon, but again, like, I don't know when the fuck I'm finishing Judgment. I mean, this is taking us so long at this point. I thought we would be done by now, by part 6 of this Let's Play series. But, instead, we're like barely halfway through the game. Russell said Canadians are the nicest people in the world. I feel like that's a very, I feel like that's a Russell Hance thing to say. As in like really like generalizing things. Damon was Zhao. I think that fits too. Okay. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it fits too. I guess it's probably fine. I haven't heard the dub for Majima at all. I have heard the Kiryu dub. Huh? But like the guy that dubbed Kiryu in Like a Dragon's the same guy that did it in the original, right? Like they got the same guy back, like in the original Yakuza in the US. Okay. Oh, yeah, like, what the fuck is this line? Whatever. Sai. Again, it's Sei, right? I mean, like, I think in the dub they say Sei, right? Nijima. But it's, like, supposed to be Sai, right? Either way. Yeah, I actually haven't looked at the who voices everyone in the dub. Like, I'm sure it's a lot of like the same sort of Japanese, like same sort of JRPG voice actors. Why can't I find the voice cast? There we go. Like something I've been thinking about. I mean, this is like completely like a tangent at this point, but something I've been thinking about though since last time I streamed is something I want to do. Like obviously, like I do these like I get into like these series that I haven't played before and do videos on those and eventually do a ranking. I'm kind of thinking like I kind of want to do Final Fantasy, like play all the original Final Fantasy games. Like that's something I've been thinking about recently. It's like playing like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I'll play all the originals that I haven't played. And do like see if I could do that before Final Fantasy 16. Where the fuck did he go? I feel like that'd be a fun thing to do. I don't know if I'll have the time to do it though. Where the fuck did he go? Where did he go? I'm really gonna fail this mission because I don't know where the fuck he went. Again, that's what I get for not paying attention to the thing. And we're about to fail. Cool.
How'd I lose him?
What's my favorite season of the challenge? Again, if you put a gun in my head, I'll probably say the duel, but I don't really have a super solid answer.
Huh?
Oh, we're back to this?
Nah.
Again, yeah. Yeah, I guess he does have to sell the booze. Whatever. I'll play 6 sometime. I've never played... So, 1 through 6, I've pretty much never played. Like, I've popped in 1... like, I've played the emulator version of Final Fantasy 1, like, a little bit. Like, the emulator of the NES version. But, like, barely. And then... I think it's 6. 6 is 3 in the US, right? I think I've played that, like, again, another one that, like, I've played a sliver of, but, like, barely anything. But, like, I barely played the first 6. I've played part of 7, original 7, but never finished it. Never played 8. Like, again, played a sliver of 9, but don't remember anything. I've played 10, but I haven't played it in, like, 15 years at this point. Oh fuck, I just realized I just didn't pay attention again. God damn it. Where am I going? Alright, where is he? I'm probably gonna fail this again. Okay, well that's cool. Then like 11, never played 11, but that's an MMO. I don't remember if I played 12. If I have, it's like very, very briefly, and again, doesn't matter. I played 13. 14's again MMO I haven't played, and then I've played 15. But I think that'll be a fun thing to do, is rank every mainline Final Fantasy game.
What did I do wrong?
Yeah, I do hear 6. Like 6 again. 6 is 3, right? Because like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like supposed to be one of the best, and 7 and is 10 amongst the best now? Because I remember like 10 used to be like a pretty controversial one. I feel like. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia for 10, but I haven't played it in so long that I don't know if I'd be able to properly assess it now. I definitely need to replay it. And that was actually a thing I was going to do this year. I mean, not every Final Fantasy game, but I was going to play every Final Fantasy game that I have done, or that I have available on PS4. Wait, what? So it is essentially just go down these... Okay, so even the game doesn't tell you where to go. So, not here? And I think we're fucked. Yeah. You think every new Final Fantasy is just like that first? Probably. I mean, I know, like, I mean, 13 still is like not very well liked, right? But I know at the time it was very, very hated. And then 15, I think 15's like, I feel like 15's general reception was fine at first. But I don't know. I've always loved 15. Oh, Danganronpa. Yeah. I do own, again, I do own 1 and 2 at least. Yeah, I just haven't played it yet. Okay, I mean, why am I even... Oh, can you not skip this? Oh, well, that's kind of bullshit. Oh, I'm actually supposed to go into the buildings? Is that what it is? Or not? Oh, it's like just run into the area. Okay. Well, there we go. I did exactly what I knew I was supposed to do. Fuck, this tailing mission's taking a while, though. Again, there's just so many games I need to play, though, that I just don't have time for. I really wish I did. Yeah, I'm currently playing Life is Strange True Colors. And I did buy the DLC as well, which in retrospect I probably shouldn't have done, but fuck it, I did it anyway. I wanted to buy it anyway. I probably should have waited for a sale or something. I spent $12 on DLC when so that essentially means I end up spending like pretty much full price for the game anyway by the end of it. But fuck it, well, who cares? Yeah, so I'm going to finish the game, again, like, an Ideal World tomorrow. If I don't finish it tomorrow, I probably won't have time. Actually, no, I should be able to finish it by this weekend, either way. But then I'll play the DLC, I think that's like a couple hours. And I'm debating over whether or not to replay it immediately afterwards. The thing is, like, I think I'm going to do a video on it, but... because like Life is Strange as a series is just a series I feel like I should do videos on at this point, considering I've already done like I've done so many Life is Strange videos already that at this point I feel like I should do like a video for every game in the series. And like I know I'm going to do Life is Strange Before the Storm. Cool. I know I don't want to be famous. But yeah, I mean I'm going to do Before a Storm next year, and then eventually I'll do Life is Strange 2, I guess. But I feel like I might as well just get True Colors out of the way, now that I'm already playing it. I don't know when the fuck it'll come out, but so I feel like I might as well do it now. But before I do that, I feel like I need to replay it again to, like, get a better sense of, like, the other outcomes, and, like, to know... like the full range of the game, so I might replay it right away, or I might like play it on stream. I don't know exactly how I want to approach that just yet. I might play it on stream. I don't know, because like I feel like I probably will need the footage thing, and I don't know. I haven't decided, but anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna finish True Colors. Then I don't even know what I'm going to play next, actually. Like, essentially, I'm playing the games of 2021 at this point. So, I mean, like, I have a decent amount of games to pick from. Like, I have Ratchet & Clank, I have Returnal, I have Resident Evil 8, have Deathloop, I have Scarlet Nexus I haven't played. There's still a decent amount. This game should allow you to hide in a box. Yeah, why not? I feel like that's something that I could see Yakuza doing at some point. Like, have that as a mechanic. Huh? I wish I could get into Metal Gear Solid. I've never played. So, like, with Metal Gear Solid, my experience with that is like, I played 2 when I was a kid, and it's fine. But like I don't remember too much of it. But again, I tried to play 5 recently. I just really couldn't get into it as much. Like I didn't hate it. Like it was fine, but definitely wasn't like a game that I felt like I needed to finish or anything. Man, I wish I could get into Metal Gear Solid, because like I know it's supposed to be really good. You asked for it. Yeah, you never touched it. Yeah, especially Metal Gear Solid 3, right? I think that's the one that's like supposed to be really, really great. But yeah, never really got into it. I feel like I should like it though, because again, like I do like Kojima in general. Like I like Death Stranding. I have frustrations with it, but like I do like the game quite a bit. I see you there, Justin. Your only knowledge of it comes from Smash. To be honest, like I'm trying to think, like, did I even know who Solid Snake was before I played Brawl? I might have not.
Nah.
Yeah, because I don't think. Yeah, actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I said I played Metal Gear Solid 2 when I was a kid, but I wasn't actually a kid. I was like 15, I think. Like, it wasn't until like 2010, 2011 or so. So, yeah, I mean, that was like quite a bit after it even came out, and that was after Brawl. So I might not even know who Snake was at that point. All right. Again, I got. Wait, what? How did I get a trophy? Whatever. I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night. I'm fucking tired. So yeah, I wanted to finish this chapter, but I just don't feel like streaming for another 30 minutes. So again, next real stream will be on Sunday. We'll continue on Judgment. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. Maybe I won't. Not 100% locked in, but if I do, it'll be an Origin speedrun. And I mean, to be honest, even if I stream it, it might just be like one attempt, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. To be honest, like, I don't know what I should do with Origins at this point. It kind of irritates me that I can't get 5th place now, essentially. That's going to be a bit of a tough. Actually, okay, I'm just now getting into the looking at the Like a Dragon dub. George Takei voices Arakawa. Like, how did I not know that? Like, that sounds so bizarre. Darren DePaul's in the game. Yeah, I've never heard the dub. I really actually want to hear the dub now. I feel like it'll just be so weird at this point. Either way. Roger Craig Smith plays Dojima. Whatever. So yeah, like, again, like, I think best case scenario for Origins is I get 6th place at this point. Which again, is very possible. Like, again, I had it in the last run until the very end, so I think I'll still try to go for that. And then Goofy is Date? That's bizarre. Actually, I don't even remember. Like, Date was like only in like one scene, right? In Like a Dragon. Like, he's literally like in like one of the, like, the final scene before you go to Millennium Tower, right? So that's just kind of weird. But yeah, it's like kind of annoying, but it's like I do want to get that now. Like, I do want to move up to 6th place, but it's like, it also feels weird that like 6th place is my end goal for that game now. Where it's like, again, 5th place felt right. Like, 5th place, it's like, that seems like a solid number. Like, 6th place, just kind of weird. But, like, to get 5th place, I would need to cut another 8 minutes. And I feel like that's definitely not happening. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday I'll take it a bit more seriously and see if I can really, really get into it. But, like, I feel like for right now, 6th place is probably the max I'm going to get. Yeah, then after that, I do want to try to get back into Last of Us speedrunning, but that'll be for a bit later. I'll actually have to probably dedicate a real stream to getting back into it, because I'll have to do... Like, I think what I'm going to do with Last of Us is that... So I've done Glitchless New Game Plus in the past, but I've never done Glitchless New Game as a run. But I do want to eventually do it, but I don't have any splits to compare against. So I think what I'll do is do a no reset glitchless new game run, and like I'll use that to kind of de-rust on The Last of Us, but then also like be able to get splits for that category. And then after that, we'll just focus on New Game Plus for a bit, and then once I get time that I'm content with that, then we'll move on to New Game. And then after Last of Us, I don't know what I'll do, but either way, that's probably still a while down the road. Oh, here's another one that carried over from Yakuza 1. That's such a weird thing too, because like they did the same thing with Shenmue, where like the original Shenmue was in like 1999, and for Shenmue 3, like 20 years later, they brought back the same voice actor for Ryu at least. So, like, I guess, like, Yakuza is kind of a similar thing with, like, Kiryu and whatnot. But, like, at least there, it's, like, they're minor characters. It's not, like, the main character, like, in Shenmue, which is even fucking weird. Actually, I did want to stream Shenmue at some point, too. I forgot about that. I don't know when the fuck that'll be. It'll probably be whenever I decide to actually do a Shenmue retrospective. But, again, I don't know when the fuck I'll decide on that. But, yeah, either way. Again, I think we're good. So yeah, see you guys on probably Sunday, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, thank you to everyone still here. Thank you for watching.